We lost. True indeed. We lost. Lord knows we lost. I'm about to say something to make you not like me. You might catch feelings and you might want to fight me, but I don't really care, I'ma say it anyway. Why most comedic guys seem soft and gay. I'm not saying all, but a large amount. Have you ever heard the words that come out of their mouth? Yeah, they cuss like a sailor, but they follow my eye. They carry oaks and wear makeup and thinking it's hot. I think they need to stop, this is a new era. I wonder if the pharaohs of a war mascara. It probably was a death mask misunderstood. Don't let them D-boys catch them up in the hood. Why NOI? Stop patrolling the block. We get shot by the cops and we calling the cops. Come on, y'all was on another level. The white man, the devil, now the white man. Or better yet, the European and the Mars and the bean pies are sold by Koreans. I'm talking what I'm seeing, I'm just a reporter. How you call a woman a bee and you got a daughter. Talking about the Hebrews, the demonized women, and choose Esau over brothers and Kemet. Probably timid, soft, and scared to fight. Yelling and wearing spikes, trying to fake me out right. But you can't fool me, cause you make a little noise. Cause deep inside, y'all some scared little boys. You really wanna ride, let's take it to the beast. Get revenge for our people killed by the police. Yeah, right. Y'all ain't busting the grape. It appears that you fear you in love with hate. Correct me if I'm wrong, we might all don't get along. European psychology got us all gone. You think we divided? Cause I wear fez and she wear oak and he wear dreads. But the vision don't start there, it starts in the head. I'm here to wake you up and get you out of the bed. We lost. To get you out the bed. I'm here to spread love and get you out of the bed. The vision don't start there, it starts in the head. I'm here to spread love and get you out the bed. Wake up. I'm here to spread love and get you out the bed. Wake up. I'm here to spread love and get you out the bed. Wake up. I'm here to spread love and get you out of the bed. Wake up. I'm here to spread love and get you out of the bed. Oh yeah, I'm here to spread love and get you out of the bed. Y'all think we divided cause I got a fez and you wear oak and she wear dreads. Y'all think we divided cause I wear fez. The vision don't start there, it starts in the head. And she wear oak and he got dreads. Moors need to wake up too, so I'ma wake up you. So we can get together, do what we gotta do. We ain't done much since the prophet left. More standing on law, we still in this mess. Haven't built the town to hold us down. Purple work can't feed us, we looking like clowns. Not been to the temple, claim we follow the prophet, but I follow the prophet. I understand logic. People in the temple, time to hit the streets. Everybody do their part, and we ain't getting relief. The murder rate can be more, it's just gone crazy. Dope fiends ODing in the hood on the daily. Weed waste with chemicals, you drink and serve. We fighting over information, we got some nerve. They say that we conscious, we might know a little something, but we just frontin' cause we haven't done nothing, we lost. You think we divided cause I got a fez and she got a cross and he got dreads. You think we divided cause I got a fez and he got an oak and he got dreads. You think we divided cause I got a fez?
Yeah, Islam. I'm trying to be your friend, man. That's right. Trying to be your friend, bro. Help me out. Meet me halfway. Come on. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. Now let me be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. You let me be your friend. Peace and love. Hey yo, I used to be a thug until I met the prophet. Now I'm all about love, truth, peace, and freedom till I return to Allah. One day we gon' meet him. I'm all about justice. That's the focus of the message. Sometimes Asiatics make me wanna forget the lessons. I be all up in my passion from all the Moorish passion. All things considered, I start laughing. A grown man with a ponytail, another calling us Neanderthal, and he all pale. I mean, for real, this is what it come to, my brother. We got nothing better to do than talk down to each other. Yeah, we could be scholars. Galilee, or we can get gutter. We are the children of one father, and the breast of one mother has nursed us all. And first of all, we beefing while the peen trying to murk us all. You need to chill, my brother, tell the elder the same, cause on the real, my man, I'm really bout them things. I can take the feds off and get back in the low, and return to the state where they used to call me dope. But no, I'm rolling with the prophet of Allah. I want love, not war, standing on that floor, and I'm holding the square, the compass and the axe that might be too deep. Yo, let's not get off track. See, our prophet was an adept. Do you know what that is? An Egyptian adept is a brother who lived by the universal science developed in the Nile. We call it Islamism, but it's the same, my child. Sit at the foot of a master. I train you up, but I might have to bang you up. I still love you, and those that's talking that this ain't Islam. Everything the prophet brought is in the Quran. All the other stuff, prostrate and cover up, is just the start. The nearest place to me, the law is the heart. You can dress like Infiltration, but you can dress like a herb. While the Moorish American Muslim unifies the word. You can say what you want about Dr. York, but he gave you different variations of the same thought. You don't appreciate that. You won't appreciate me. Appreciate the holy and divine Jubilee. People refuse to admit it. He the first that ever did it. Europeans hope that the Moors would forget it, but we here, strong, alive and well, resurrected from hell, with a story to tell. So pay attention and listen, and consider the facts. You know it's humanly impossible for you to be black. I guess a Chinaman is yellow, a Mexican is brown. Just think for a second how ridiculous it sounds. We can turn it around, but we must unite. It's okay to disagree, but we don't have to fight. Cause if we have to fight, you know how we get. I'm still learning to love. No, I'm not there yet. So work with me, fam, and I'ma work with you. And let's all work together and do what we gotta do. Cause on the real side, we haven't made no progress since 1929, when the prophet left the flesh. We got an Asiatic president, men marrying men, psycho shooting up a club and don't see his own sin. And those that say they conscious, then took your bucks. Move straight to Hollywood and straight living it up. And y'all bigging it up, straight cheesing and grinning. But it was your bread to help them set it off in the beginning. Be careful what you put in your soul, cause it could blind you. Unfortunately, some people get paid to misguide you, misguide you. Oh yeah, I wanna be your friend. Peace and love, let me be your friend. Peace and love, I said you ain't never, and you would never. You ain't never, ever, ever. You ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never, ever, ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love, so let me be your friend. Peace and love, oh yeah, you ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never, ever, ever gonna meet one again. So let me be your friend. Peace and love, so let me be your friend. Peace and love, I wanna be your friend. Yeah, let me be your friend. We ain't trying to be enemies. I wanna be your, so let me be your, I wanna be your friend. Hey, yeah. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. If you a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off trucks, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people talk European how to bathe, and looking at women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? Hell nah, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But when the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number.
I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till alarm call my number. All you super scholars holler. This era for the work. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for the people. Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know every mo that rock a fast. He ain't my bro. Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for show. And some got it right now. Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast mistakes. I want my town, my sheriff, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Y'all keep hating when love is the savior. You don't love yourself, so you can't love your neighbor. That's why you killing, fighting, marry out of your race. If you ain't for Moorish World, then get out of my face. Cause Chinese love China, Italians love Italy. If you used to love the Moorish World, come on and build it with me. Let's go. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, oh yeah. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. Be more. I be that more you gon' remember. That time. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. Come on. I be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number.
Bruce Wayne, all you got to do is hit me up, man. I'm waiting for my guest right now. Bruce Wayne, come on, man, just hit me up. Let's get busy. You know what I mean? What's this?
I rise.
Uh-oh.
Giving praise to Allah.
We're going to stop right there.
Giving honor to his prophet.
Bruce Wayne.
Prophet Noble Drew.
Come on, man. We can do this, Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne. We can do this, Bruce Wayne. Let's see what me and Bruce Wayne can do. Let me see something. Let me look at my file while I'm waiting on my guest to come in. Let me see what I can do. Let me look at my file real quick. Let me see. Let me see what I got. Let me see what me and Bruce Wayne can do. Let's see what we got here. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got, Bruce Wayne. Let's see if we can turn up a little bit. Mic check. Mic check. Huh? Yeah, me and Bruce Wayne carrying this thing. We about to go insane, about to bring the pain. I bring it to your brain, but this ain't 96, this ain't Malcolm, nuh-uh. I mean, this ain't Method Man, I got the method, man. I keep the plan, don't make me go up in my bag. Cause I give it to you and turn you to a rag, dog. All of y'all, guaranteed to fall. You know how I get down and how I ball, man. I was people who would try to run up with their gun up. I make them eat the bullets to the sun up and sundown. Bury the clowns, you know how I get down. Be more, we go to war. From that town to be more to the eastern shore. We gon' give it to you, boy. Bruce Wayne, let's bring the pain. We can do it right now. This is sane. This ain't Malcolm X, it ain't Method Man. Bruce Wayne, let's bring the pain. Man, they think I ain't got it cause I'm 48. Yeah, but I'm so straight. Yeah, thanks for the, yeah, you think I messed up. Oh no, thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for everybody that run with us. No, I'm the man. They know these little clowns, they can't stand a chance. Come on, brother Malik. I will hit you in your cheek and you won't speak with your megaphone no more. Long body, long and slender on the floor. Let's go to war. Big Shirley, with your big burly behind. One time. Oh yeah, you just one time. You just 12. Oh well. Oh! Yeah! You just one time. I mean 12. Oh! You just one time. Big Shirley, you just one time. Let's go. It's my guest in yet. My guest in. She in. Hold up. Let's go one more. Hey, yo, Malik. I know you watching tonight. Oh. Hold on. We doing too much. I just want my guests to come in. I think I'm doing too much. Hold up. Yeah. Uh-oh, y'all ready for the show, family? Y'all ready for the show? Family, we got a hot one tonight. Y'all ready? I've been talking my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Huh? Y'all ready? We about to get right. We about to get right up here. Y'all think I'm busting bars. We about to get right up here. We about to get right. Let it get right. Yeah. We about to get right. We gonna shut it all down tonight. Y'all thought it was a game. We ain't gonna stop. I'm telling you, we ain't gonna stop. Y'all keep thinking we playing. Huh? We ain't gonna stop. Let it play out. Big, hey, we go. This gonna be the new track. Hey, this is a new track. Cut the knob. This is a new track. Oh. I wish you keep on playing with me. I might run up on you. See if you be spraying with me. No, I don't have a credit. And no, I don't have a fraud. I have all these people that be walking up to me and they acting like they God. Let's see if God can survive. Let's see if they gonna live or die. It's the people's grand sheik. The people chose me. So shut up, hush. Right now you can't speak. I ain't got no gun permit. Matter of fact, I don't own one. If you're trying to run up on me, yeah, you're going prone, son. Let it go. Let it go. Hey, look, check this out. Oh, look, we just praying. We caught one. We got one on the line. One-way crook said SYT is whack as up, just painful. So this we're gonna do. One-way crook. Ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. So this will be your last time commented on us having fun. You's a party pooper. And so we're going to put you where the poop goes. In the toilet. Bye-bye now. Blocked. Bow. You's a party pooper. So now you goes where the poop goes. In the toilet. That's right. One way crook. Ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. We're just having some fun. We're not promoting violence. But anyway, back to the show, fam. I'm just feeling myself a little bit as I was waiting on the guest, fam. I like to entertain. I like to have fun. Who don't like to have fun? Somebody think that I'm 48 years old trying to establish a rap career. You have lost your everlasting sick, silly mind. I am only having fun, okay? I'm only having fun. If I will say again, if you think that at 48 years old, that I'm trying to establish a rap career. Bye now. You have lost your everlasting mind, Goofy. Okay, Goofy? Goofy. Bye, Goofy. We just have fun. You come on. See, we family over here. See, everybody know I'm playing around. You see, we family. See, one way, don't come over here with the family. Look at one way. Look at one way. Bam. One way. One way, you's a goofball, man. You's a goofball. I'm going to keep on blocking you one way. Good goodness and gracious. But with that being said, man, we're going to get to the business now. Man, I love y'all, man. I love y'all, family. Family, listen. If y'all come into this show, in the beginning of the show, you might just walk away and be like, man, who is this goofy guy? I need to put the fan on. Hold on. I get hot. Yeah, you might say, man, who is this goofy guy? But let me tell you something, family. You got to learn to live a little bit. Let me tell you something. Many of y'all are 45 and above. Let me tell you something. A guy told me one time, I was like 20-some years old, and I had gotten some trouble. I'm coming, Sister Nandi. I had gotten some trouble. I want to give you some wisdom real quick. Walk with me, family. I had gotten some trouble. And there was this brother named Rock. That was a nickname, because he had a bald head like Rock. And he was real chill. Stone cold killer. Real talk. I ain't playing with you. So back then, I was nice with the hands. I would always swing them hands. I ain't had no problem with it, right? I mean, off the cuff. I didn't have no problem with it. And he used to say to me all the time, he said, Junior, you can't beat everybody. He said, everybody, you don't need to beat like that. He said, most people, 95% of the time, you can just outsmart. He said, let me tell you something. A lot of people around here, they over 40. And I'm going to guarantee you, Junior, if they dumb at 40, they're going to be dumb forever. He said, so when you go through life, if you get to argue with somebody that's 40 or above, and they making stupid assessments, crazy logic, and they're totally irrational, you go the other way. Because dumb at 40 is dumb forever. Now, I took that hood philosophy and I ran with it. And I'll be goodness gracious, I've met a lot of people dumb at 40, and by the time they turned 50, they were still dumb and even worse. So I'm telling you here today, if I'm having fun and you think I'm dead serious, you think I'm life serious, you might be dumb at 40. You might be dumb at 40. And if you're dumb at 40, acknowledge it so you won't be dumb at 41. Try to change it. Don't make that hood assessment be true. Try to change it. With that being said, we're going to get right back into the show. I love my intros. I love my intro. Sister Nandi is in the building, family. Sister, this is real talk. I mean, this is real talk. I wish I could find Rock today, but Rock had a couple of sentences that it carries on into another lifetime, if you know what I mean. And that's my brother. But with that being said, Sister Nandi, are you there?
Yes, I am. How are you tonight?
Hey, Sister Nandi, I feel excited. And the reason why I feel excited, because we're in the good fight.
Right.
We're in a good fight. And it's so unfortunate that we have to use this medium to inform our people as to what has gone wrong and who has been the perpetrator of this wrong, as opposed to being able to pick up the phone and say, brother and sister, you know you're wrong. Brother and sister, you know you ain't right. You know you've been doing this for 20 years. It's a repeat. And we've seen this movie before. Why you keep doing this? And let me give a little bit of intro. So what we talking about here today? Family, we're going to cover this for about a couple of shows. But one thing I want to get in, I want to talk about Sister Nandi, where she came from, a little bit of her experience, and then we're going to dive right into it. So have a little bit of patience, because I want to just get a quick capsule, a caption of Sister Nandi, where she from, Nandi, and how she joined the movement, and then we're going to go into some of these things. One of the first things I want to do, I'm telling you, I want some tea first. I'm telling you, because when Sister Nandi said Malik was kissing Shirley, when she said, can you imagine? They look like the number 10 together. You know, Malik tall.
Wow.
Hey. Can you imagine that? Malik bending over kissing Big Shirley. And they standing beside each other holding hands, looking straight like the number 10. That right, I said it, and what? Learn how to take a joke. But Sister but Sister Nandi, that made me laugh. I don't know where that came from. I'm a comedian too, I guess. But Sister Nandi, if you don't mind, sister, just tell a little bit about yourself. I'm excited to have you here. You know what I'm saying? Because
I'm glad to be here, sir. Thank you.
the reason why I'm excited, sis, is because we need someone to give us first-hand account, some second-hand account, and even third-hand account. But you got a lot of first-hand account that can really help people in reality, all jokes aside. You know what I mean? You got some first-hand account that can really help people. So can you tell people a little bit about yourself on the intro, sis, if you will?
Sure. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, born and raised, from Kirkwood, which is Zone 6 here. My family has been black. I'm not going to say black power, but I'm just going to say revolutionaries and in the movement since the 60s. My grandfather was a very close friend of Hosea Williams. I've had my opportunities to meet with him, and I'm very, close with his family. They have done a lot. My grandfather was even the original Black Panther. The first Panther headquarters was actually opened in Kirkwood, on Kirkwood Road in 1965, 66, somewhere around in there. Mr. Tim Hayes, which is also the founder of 89.3, was one of the gentlemen that brought the Panthers here when we had the missing and murdered children and all of that stuff, because that was going on long before Wayne Williams was actually put into, this situation. It started back in the late 60s, early 70s, when the missing and murdered children started. So the Panthers and Malcolm X and a lot of different people were here trying to assist with that situation.
So since you literally come from the bona fide stock, if you will, the genealogy of the bona fide freedom fighters and Panthers, if you will.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to underscore that.
Yes, sir. My grandfather was a diehard. If you look up Kirkwood, Atlanta, it used to actually be named Lake Claire. And what my family did, and a number of other Black families, which the neighborhood actually is named after them, and certain streets are named after them. They came over there. They had to go to war. There was bombings and all kind of different things that was done to not only my family, but other families that was in that area, until they just bounded together and they took over. So white genocide is going on now. They called it the Great White Flight. But before that, yes, it's a number of families that I would love to mention that actually put in work over there. And some of those people are deceased or actually gotten killed in some of those bombings and stuff, when they took over that area.
So sis, when you were coming up and you were influenced by the revolutionary movement, if you will, were there, when you were younger, was the new Black Panther up and coming of your interest when they appeared? Because of course they wasn't there probably when you were young, but I'm just talking about when they came to light. Did that automatically pique your curiosity or something like that? Were you a part of the new Black Panther Party or any other revolutionary group, or did you affiliate? How did that go?
Yes, in 2010, me and like 40 people, and family members and all, we joined the new Black Panther Party. But at that time, they were representing themselves as the Black Panther Party until they were sued by the original Panthers. So when they came to Atlanta, they presented themselves as the Panthers are picking up, as we say, the bloody rags of the originals, and we joined. But when we got in there, it was a big fluke. So I was only a part of NBPP for about 2 years, and then we branched off and did our own thing. We had our own problems with that, and I'll go further into that, when you are ready for me to.
And this is the purpose of this show, family. If you don't like it, you can always turn away. But the purpose of this show is being able to have something to measure it against. When I speak of Brother Malik, I've never disrespected Brother Malik. Only thing I did was I said, look at his record. His record did not identify him as a freedom fighter. It has as identify him as a screamer, a yeller, and a provocateur. But it doesn't identify him as a freedom fighter. Just because you pick up a megaphone and you travel from city to city every time somebody gets hit or whipped or hung or drugged, it doesn't make you a freedom fighter. It makes you a provocateur. You want to provoke the crowd, but you ain't doing nothing yourself. And so I never said anything, and I tell everybody that if I'm wrong, I would take the video down. But what you had is something that a lot of people don't have, which is a blessing to have you here. You have something to measure it against. What is some of the differences that you have seen growing up with those who principally was a part of the Black Panthers and those that when you joined in BPP? What was the difference? What stood out to you?
Oh, that's very easy. When I was growing up and seeing people like Hosea Williams and the original Panthers, those were field, I don't know if we can say, but field niggas.
Right.
They weren't house niggas. That's why Hosea Williams made it clear. That's why he kept on his overalls, because he's not a sellout like Michael King, as a lot of people don't know him as, and the other individuals that was in the so-called civil rights movement. Then my grandparents even taught me about the civil rights movement, the Rosa Parks, all of this stuff was a fluke. It was something to distract the people from the militancy that people like the Panthers and Malcolm X was trying to, steer us towards more revolutionary, suicidal revolutionary moves, as I can say, than being reactionaries and a bunch of talkers. So I see a big difference because those people then, they opened up programs. Hosea Williams now still has Hosea Helps and Feeds the Homeless. His daughters are running the organization. They're still paying people's rent. They are helping people get out of debt as far as, credit card debts and things of that nature. They give out great food, Christmas baskets, things of that nature. The original Panthers, as we say, because we all know that there was so-called 2 to 3 denominations. So we're not going to go to Lyons County because we that was a fluke with the political party. We're going to go to the secondary party, which was Hueyville. They came out with the WIC program, sickle cell anemia, Seniors Against Fearful Environments. They had prison to prison. They had parenting classes. They came up with their own street lights. And one thing that I can say about those Panthers and the revolutionaries then, they were busting their guns and they was busting heads. They got rid of the snitches. They got rid of the individuals that was counterintelligence, using counterintelligence in order to destroy the movement. Now, although they were infiltrated with over 2,500 informants. So I look at that, looking at that situation with them. What about today? How many of them are there today? Because the Hueys and the Bobbies and all of these different people are no longer around to make sure that we do the things that are necessary, right, in order for us to have change. The new Black Panther Party, they're a bunch of phonies. I don't care who doesn't like what I say. I've never seen them, like I said, do anything to help any of their comrades. I have several comrades that I'm going to mention throughout this interview. One of them would be King Saneter, that was left to rot in jail. I can think about the fact that our chapter, when we had to put guns on them at the Tupac Center for disrespecting Miss Afena Shakur and not paying their dues, and they called the police on us. We were surrounded by the police. Malik and Hashim, we sitting there supposedly having a conversation after we had to put guns on the Nationals for being disrespectful and not following protocol. However, they ended up putting the police on us and almost getting us sabotaged. After that, we were, I guess, under some type of surveillance for a while. And during that surveillance,
hold on, sis. I want to underscore some of these things. So if I cut you off, please forgive me.
Oh, that's okay.
Are you saying that Malik and whoever else was with him put the police on you?
They called so many DeKalb County police. I thought we was gonna have to go to war. Yes, sir. We had a disagreement with one of their members, which was Telly. He came out and did some very disrespectful stuff to one of my chapter members, and we ended up having to put guns on them. We were actually about to come to blows with these people. Hashim and Zinga, this P. Renee sister, she knows who I am, as well as Malik Zulu Shabazz. So we sat down and they manipulated us into saying, let's sit down and have a talk. You know how they do. Let's try to pan it out.
Yeah.
And we saw so many police around our heads, we thought we was getting ready to have to go to war to come up out of the parking lot. So yes, sir. And we're not the only ones that they have put the police on. They just do their stuff underhandedly. But people that are really literate and knows what goes on and see the things that's happening in this organization are very well aware of those that are placing us in positions in order to get set up, or some of these people have been murdered. I can speak about Khaled. I can speak about, we got a brother named Hora Antoine they labeled him as saying it was a homicide, suicide, but we later found out it was a homicide. We have brother Ja. He had a problem with the party. He's been missing ever since. Brother Fahim Ali. Even though, and I still feel like that maybe Krystal and Malik was doing some underhanded stuff, because what people got to understand, although they show that they're separated or they don't communicate with each other, these people be behind the scenes on the phone, talking with each other, plotting, planning, procrastinating all the time.
And to your point, sis, and I'll show a picture in a minute when I bring it up. To your point, they act as if they're fighting like arch nemesis and enemies. Yet when Tulsa came up, they're hugged up, taking a picture as if, like, how do you, basically at each other's throat to the level of seem to be total disrespect, but then see each other on the fly in Tulsa and hugged up, taking a picture. That seemed odd to me after I've heard from both sides, because at one point I was talking to Malik when he was trying to market his book on my show, and I talked to Big Shirley when she was trying to market herself on the show. You know what I'm saying? And so I've heard it from both sides. And I'm going to tell you, they were talking about each other as if they wanted each other off the earth. And then just to see them go in Tulsa and hug up. It's a beautiful thing. Unity is fine, but unity amongst agents is not good for us. But carry on.
Let me say this about Malik and Krystal. The issue that I have with all of them, including Brother Najee, I'm going to call him out tonight, and all of these other individuals that are peanuts writers, they all know the secrets. They know the manipulating tactics that Malik Zulu Shabazz has been using for years, and the things that has gone on in this organization. So I'm very disappointed in a lot of the members that actually call themselves hugged up in Tulsa. I'm sick of this unity stuff. You cannot unite with those that are here to destroy us. That's like us saying, let's just go sit down with the CIA and the FBI and get in the bed with Gay Edgar Hoover and we all have an orgy together. It doesn't make sense to me. So when you look at how they present themselves, they try to make it seem like it's an argument this way and that way. But no, sir, I can vouch for the fact that a lot of them have never left the party. It's some brothers that has called me. You better not do this show. You need to quit doing this. Y'all destroying the black. Like I told them, what black power? Nobody owns anything. They have no structure. And all of you, I have made a fool out of what we consider to be the original Panther Party and made it look like it was some phony, crazy stuff. I don't appreciate that. Huey did not die for us. Fred Hampton, Bobby Hudson, they didn't die for us. Bobby Seals didn't put in the work and still continues to move around. I have, certain issues. They all have, things in their closet. But my point is this. Those people made a difference. How can you come in, and that's why they call themselves the new Black Panther Party, because they have no ideology and they have no type of, structure or anything that highly references the original Black Panther Party for self-defense as we know of today from the 60s. They don't do anything like those people. I've been on maneuvers where you know, they stood down. We had a SWAT standoff, and I'm gonna send you that video. I meant to send you that one. And Malik ordered, and Hashim, they ordered our troops to stand down. They took their buttons off. They took the berets off. We were on CNN, Channel 5.
Let me underscore this. Hold up. Let me underscore. So now let me say something to the audience. I'm not in no way trying to agitate any situation or provoke a situation. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to highlight a set of circumstances that would show and prove that this path that Malik has provided and others in this day and time that love the camera, Big Shirley, is not a reasonable path to liberation. That's what I'm highlighting. And I'm not apologizing to nobody about highlighting that. I believe what I'm doing, I have confidence and faith in what I'm doing, that we are going to save some lives that may go that way. One more second, sis. When you look at Malik calling on the gang summit and the brothers that showed up, you have to understand the intention of a provocateur or an agent. They would hope to get a gang member to become a Black Panther to do their bidding for them. You see what I'm saying? And so when a brother like me speak out or somebody else speak out, or they cross one and leave them in prison and all that, they would want somebody that really put in work on their team so they don't have to put in work themselves. And so that's what these gang summits about, trying to get familiar with those who really have the warrior spirit and bring them in to do their bidding for them. How do I know this? Because Malik had asked me personally, brother, when you going to bring me up there to introduce me to the 300 gangsters up there in Baltimore? And I said to Malik, I said, brother, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. They don't do this. They don't do YouTube. They don't do none of that. Well, brother, I hear you be with them and da da da. No, we help people in our community, and that's where it starts. That's where it ends. But he was trying to get into the loop of the street life here in Baltimore in order to validate himself. And I know that's what they tried to do in order to have those street brothers who have that warrior spirit to do their bidding when they won't do it themselves. You know,
may I add to that, Brother Tahaka? There's another secret that they're doing. What they're doing is they're manipulating a lot of the brothers to come into the party so that they can set them up. A lot of these gang members are careful because it's a lot of these brothers, you know, that's out here. We gangsters. So they got stuff going on with them. You know, it's rewards and all kind of stuff for some of these top dogs out here that's running the organization.
Oh yeah, and they send an intel back too. Absolutely.
Exactly. So when they have a lot of these meetings and these so-called summits and stuff, it's full of FBI informants, FBI officials, and all type of stuff that's surrounding the area, so they can get a visual of who the true revolutionaries are. This is one reason why a lot of people like myself is not always in the camera. If you're really doing the work, you don't have all day to be sitting up making videos and encouraging people to do dumb stuff. So that's one thing I wanted to add. Secondary, you have to look at the history of Mr. Malik Zulu Shabazz.
Take it away, sis. I'm learning too. Take it away.
When we go back and look at the situation with Khalid Muhammad, you know, before Khalid was killed, and if anybody wants to reference this, you can go look at the information from Steve Coakley. And there's a number of, documents that are online that you all can view to validate what I'm saying. Before Khalid was killed, maybe 3 or 4 days before, Malik put a page, article out. I think it was about 20 pages, anywhere from 12 to 20 pages, big up in himself, introducing himself, putting himself in a position where he hadn't even gotten yet before the brother was assassinated. Because I'm not going to sit here and say he died. He was assassinated and we know it. Just like Brother Steve Coakley stated, if you make a man a target once, and Brother Khalid didn't vibe with them like they say he did, from Saneter to Malik to Hashim, from my understanding, he had a lot of soldiers papping their behinds out. They were getting slapped out. Somebody was selling drugs on post. Saneter was supposedly selling drugs on post and got caught for that. Brother Malik was trying to manipulate the situation because he wanted to fully worry about cultural nationalism and the Nation of Islam instead of worrying about the revolution. And that's something that the original Black Panthers always taught us. Leave the cultural nationalists where they at. They ain't gonna die for shit, but they gods. And that's it. They're not gonna die for the people. They're not gonna integrate themselves into a movement that is strictly for our people in order to make change. They're gonna stay over there. 90% of the people that we're talking about right now, they love white people. They're not going to tell you that, but they in bed with the white man and they love the white man. From Krystal Muhammad to Malik Zulu Shabazz, Saneter, LLC. They don't, I'm pissed because I work with all of them. And I try to, do the best that I can as far as I know as being a revolutionary to make things happen. But when you see people like Malik, that will shut down your programs. He don't want anybody who's really about this movement to do anything. And I'm gonna say this is because what I was trying to get to is Malik Zulu Shabazz. He is an attorney. An attorney is a foreign agent. There's a foreign registration agreement. There's an anti-bribery agreement, and there's an oath of office that he has to take in order to say that he will never go against his government. Now, what I don't understand about a lot of people, if you know that he's an attorney, supposedly a legal attorney, and if you really know what a lawyer or an attorney is, how could you even think for 1 minute that he's doing anything to help the people? So that's the problem that I have with Malik and the part that he plays. He's playing a role in order to get money. Malik is worth $1.5 million. But how much is he giving back to the community? How many times have he bonded any of the soldiers out? Or I haven't seen any cases what he's represented when it comes to our people or what they consider to be Black power. I know because my brother was murdered in prison by a Muslim, and we gave the case to Malik Zulu Shabazz before my brother was murdered because he was wrongfully convicted of murder, something he didn't do. My brother died waiting on Malik. So firsthand, I understand that he's not who he say he is. I went through some legal issues myself and some of my chapter members. There was no Black lawyer for justice, not even any of his affiliates. No Wally Davis, with Adrian Patrick, all of these people names that he's using. Where were they? So I just want people to understand that his thing is to collect money. Money, and that's it. There's no power and no structure over there. When Malik comes out of the Nation of Islam, a lot of people is not gonna like what I say, but the Nation of Islam is phony as hell too. They in the bed with the white man. They feed tofu and bean pies, but you ain't gonna get nothing out of them. You can't even get a newspaper without having a few dollars. So I'm not understanding the Panther Party wasn't doing all of that stuff. They would come out and give things to the community and assist us. So if you got somebody coming out of a predominantly male chauvinistic organization, and that organization is known for recruiting criminals and certain individuals from prisons and things of that nature, what makes you think that if he's coming straight up out of the nation and was right up under Farrakhan, that he's not making the same decisions as what he was taught? That's like a child, learning how to brush his teeth. Once they grow up, their mother teach them how to brush their teeth. They're going to keep brushing their teeth. Same thing with Malik.
I'm looking up right now, sis. I'm checking this because I want to show it to the people. I had it before, but just because you mentioned it, I want to show it to the people because for some reason, people may just think you're just talking. And so one thing I want to show you is that Malik was a member of the Bar Association. He's a member of the Bar Association in Maryland, number one. So I just want to share this with you, family. He was a member of the Bar Association in Maryland, number one. And to the sister's point about Malik, let me just share this real quick. This is the oath that they take. If you're able to see it, I just grabbed it off the website real quick, off one of the websites real quick. But what it says, hold up. It says that I do solemnly swear, affirm that I will at all times demean myself fairly and honorably as an attorney and a practitioner at law, and I will bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland and support the laws and constitution thereof, and that I will bear true allegiance to the United States, and that I will support, protect, and defend the Constitution, laws, and government thereof as the supreme law of the land, and law or ordinance of this or any state to the contrary, notwithstanding. Now, let me give the caveat to that. I think we should have attorneys in our community. However, when an attorney with a track record like Malik Zulu Shabazz have not had one win in our community, it shows that his oath is being abided by. In other words, his allegiance has not been to us, and it's been to that oath. And this is what people have to wake up. I know you're getting mad, and it's good that you're getting mad, because when you get mad, that means that you're thinking, you're making considerations, you're considering. But as you can see, the Maryland oath of an attorney, he has an allegiance to Maryland, he has an allegiance to the Constitution. And that doesn't mean that if you get a lawyer can't fight for you. No, a lawyer enforces the Constitution in order to ensure your rights. But you can't find one case. You can't find one case that we can highlight here tonight or tomorrow. If one has a case that we can highlight where we can congratulate Brother Malik after 25 years, please put the case number in the chat. Don't get mad at me. Just put the case number in the chat so we can review it at a later date. Carry on, sis.
I wanted to add to that. I'm going to give you something else to look up while I'm making my comments. I want you to pull up a case, Trenzy versus Pagliaro. Attorneys are not real.
It's a Trenzy
versus Pagliaro. Pagliaro. Trenzy versus Pagliaro. It should pop right up.
Trenzy.
Trissey.
Okay, I got it.
We don't need attorneys at all unless we're incompetent, or we're slow, or we're underage, which means under 18, or someone that's in a mental hospital. Those are people that can't represent themselves in court.
The only thing I disagree with that, sis, is that if I have an attorney like Johnny Cochran, I would be comfortable. Because the way that this European has done with these laws, he continued. This is why it's called practicing laws. He continued to change and flip and remix and change and flip. And so someone that is dedicated to that life, but also dedicated to his people, we need people like that. You know what I'm saying? Because just like some people dedicated to rap music and they come out like a twister. We need somebody that is dedicated to that, specifically to that. You know what I'm saying? Now, if whether as an advisor or as a representative, just because this European keep changing every minute, and we need somebody that stay on top of it every minute. I can't stay on top of it every minute.
Okay,
let me on top of it every minute.
Let me say this. This is why I feel that way, right? I do a lot of law work here. Anybody who's watching this that knows me, I file cases all in the district courts and all of that stuff, right? The thing I'm telling you about an attorney is that attorneys can only go so far. If you're going to fight the cases we're trying to fight, you know, like police brutality, suing police stations, suing the city or the state, they can't even get involved because, again, you just read the oath. Their oath is to their state.
But let me say this, and I don't want to get bogged down there. The oath is to the state. However, there's laws that the European has put on the book in order to cover their behind so they can wiggle out. Those same laws must be discovered and utilized, you know, by one who has dedicated their life into law. and they right there with them. They in the back room representing you. And so I'm just saying that I believe we need people in all places. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we should abandon any area where this European is dominating. We should dominate that area. We should dominate the way that you do. I got a brother just like you in the Moorish Temple of America. He was locked up 25 years. He freed himself, his rap buddy, and 5 other brothers recently in the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So we need you too, but we need people everywhere. And if I raise my son to be an attorney, he ain't selling out to them. He gonna have the Marvin Gaye. We gonna have to do the Marvin Gaye. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I'm saying, Sister Nandi. I think we need people everywhere, but we need people that's loyal to us everywhere. Malik is not loyal to us.
I agree with you, but I guess what I'm getting at is this. If we're fighting for us, right? I don't care what the Constitution, I don't care what laws, UCC, codes, Black Law Dictionary, all of that stuff was written by the white man. Right?
Absolutely.
So what I'm saying is this: if we're doing things, the first thing to do is take ourselves outside of their system. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't beat anything. I'm telling you, I've done this. A lot of people, they get paid off and stuff. You see these big, large, settlements and stuff like that. But let me explain. Behind the scenes, they're not getting any of that. It's all publicity.
I get all of that, sister. What I'm saying is, if you got somebody's everywhere that's loyal to you, like your child, like your best friend, you got somebody that's loyal to you. We need somebody everywhere. We can't let them be in that room by themselves.
Yes, I understand that. What I'm saying,
in order to get in that room, in order to get in that room, you got to work your way to get in that room. We need people everywhere, sis. I'm telling you, when you look at the Black Panthers, that's one thing that they were doing. You know what I'm saying? They were everywhere. They was in politics, and people, and that's debatable. Should they been in politics? Shouldn't they been in politics? That's debatable. But what I'm saying is, I'm of the thought that we need people everywhere. But I'm not of the thought that Malik Zulu Shabazz is there for us. I think Malik Zulu Shabazz is there, and he's a gatekeeper.
I'm gonna make a powerful point, and we'll leave it there because I respect you, sir, and I respect your opinions. But I'm gonna say this: you brought up the Black Panther Party. When Huey was represented by that attorney, yeah, he got off, he got everything done, but later on down the line, the Black Panther Party realized what the system was doing, and also their attorneys that was involved. So the Panther 21 eventually started representing themselves. They didn't have any attorneys. So when we look at people that have represented themselves now, if you look at, like you said, your Moorish brother represented himself. He didn't go inside the system dealing with any of those individuals that has taken an oath. And I want you to look at the anti-bribery agreement. Right. The anti-bribery agreement has been signed by the officials that are working in this system, because this is a kangaroo court. First of all, court systems are just corporations. Those are just corporations.
I want to get back on track. I hear what you said. I respectfully disagree that we need people everywhere, sis. This European is fighting us on every front. And if we deny one place, we need people in the rap corporate boardroom. So Nas don't come out wearing a thong on the stage while my children watching the BET Awards. We need that. We need people right there too. You know what I mean? We need people at Def Jam. We need people in an attorney's boardroom, in the judge seats. We need people everywhere, but we need people that's loyal to us, is my point. We need people loyal to us. I'm not just saying anybody. I'm saying loyal to us. Can we develop a type of camaraderie, a type of brotherhood, a type of friendship, a type of blood in, blood out, that when our people get in these places, that they loyal to us? That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about sellouts. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about a Mutulu Shakur sitting up there knowing what's going on and bringing it back to the people. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it just sometimes to me, sis, and I want to go on, but sometimes to me, it seemed like we gave up hope that we have some people that will be loyal to us and can go in there and bring back the goods. You know what I'm saying? I mean, do we care about that oath? No. Someone that's loyal to us and loyal to his people, we don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? But can we build, can we raise someone like that? That's what I'm talking about.
This is what I'm saying. A lot of our people are loyal, brother Tahaka, but what I'm trying to explain to you is this: when you got white supremacy and you got sellout Sambos and all of these people that are at the top that's still going to make the decision, what you're talking about is just like voting.
Why no, I'm saying we raise the person. I'm not saying anybody. See, you speaking random again, sis. But I'm not just saying anybody. I'm not saying anybody.
Let me finish. Just give me 1 second. I'm not saying just anybody. Even if we play the spook behind the door, and we get somebody in office and somebody who we think that's going to be loyal, they have other people. That's just like when we're voting. We vote. Just say we voted for Barack Obama, even though we know that was. But I'm just using this as an example. The Electoral College is the one that makes the decision on who's president. So what is our vote counting for? So if we look at,
I think that's a different argument, sis. No,
I'm just using this as an example, sir, is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter where we are in their system. If we're in their system, there's still rules and regulations, regardless of what. Okay, we can leave the Electoral College alone. We can leave the president alone. Like KRS-One said, he's like the manager at Burger King. The Federal Reserve Chairman makes decisions. Who's going after that? Who's trying to get that position? No one will ever get that position because these people have a system that they have designed. Willie Lynch is a system. It's not a.
Hey, sis, let me tell you something. I get that. But the only way that we are going to come up, and I know this for a fact, the only way that we are going to come up, that we must infiltrate every system that has been designed against us. And we have to we have to have a strategy to be in position to create the laws. We have to and if we have lost faith in our people that we cannot create a strategy to get in position where we create the laws. If we can't zero in on a 90% of African Americans, Moorish American, Asiatic people, whatever you choose to call us, indigenous, here in Baltimore, in Atlanta, we can't organize a plan to take over Atlanta by the political process, then we have a real big problem on our hands. And I'm not saying voting for random anybody. I'm saying the way that Kennedy got into office, and we talk about the Electoral College, but I'm going to tell you, there was a lot of Catholic and a lot of gangsters and a lot of Italians. What I'm saying, sis, is that these systems are only ran by those because we do not know the way to move people out of the systems. Look at the European Jews. The European Jews, they more of a minority than anybody. But guess what? When here in Baltimore, then I want to get back into it. Says here in Baltimore, a young brother walked through their neighborhood. It's called Jewtown. He walked through their neighborhood. These young Jewish children, they grabbed them. You know what I mean? They was doing security in the neighborhood. They threw them down and beat them up. You know what I mean? The police came. They locked the Jewish boy up. But guess what happened? The Jewish boy, he was locked up by his own Jewish police in that community. The Jewish boy, he went to the two Jewish boys. They went to the commissioner that was the Jewish boy. The Jewish boy, they ultimately went to the judge that was Jew. The Jewish boy, they got off and everything was on camera. And they were on the bottom of the barrel just in 1930. They took over the system. That's all I'm saying. And we cannot disregard that fact. You are needed, but we are needed everywhere. We are needed everywhere. I mean, we are needed everywhere, but we need loyalty more than anything. And this conversation, sister, if we can, I would love to get in that conversation another time. But this conversation is about these frauds are not loyal to us. That's the issue. The issue wouldn't be no problem if you got locked up and Malik was able to represent your brother and get some things done and have some honor in doing it. It wouldn't be no issue. The real issue is loyalty. He has only one loyalty, and that's to that dollar, and that's that ego and fame. And that's what I'm talking about. But sis, I don't want to digress because I want to get back into it. And since you know we can build, because I see you've been studying. I see you've been studying some stuff. Good goodness and gracious. And I love you, sis, because you know I've been there too. But let me say this, sis. The whole thing in a nutshell is Malik Zulu Shabazz. When did you first meet Malik Zulu? Was it 2010?
Yes.
And what did you think when you first met him?
I was crazy about the situation. I thought that, okay, we got some black people doing some stuff, and you know, I look up to my chairman. I mean, even when we had that issue with them, I'm like, go get my chairman. You know, go get my chairman. He gonna deal with this. Malik ain't going for this. Then when you get in there and you find out he's behind all of the plots, it messes you up. So when I first came in, I came in full-fledged. All of my members, we came in the same day. And I would like to say majority of the members that I have were ex-gang members. Some of them were still gang members, GDs, Crips, Vice Lords, Bloods. We had all different denominations. It was youth. Most of them were under the age of 20 at that time. And they joined. But when they got in there and they started seeing the manipulating tactics and the things that was being used against them, and there was no programs, there was nothing for us to, you know, try to build on, it disappointed me and a lot of my people, you know, terribly. So when I first met him, yeah, I was crazy about Malik Zulu Shabazz. I thought he was, you know what I'm saying, some type of saint that came down out of the storm. But I realized that that's just not what he stands for.
When did it first stand out to you that, like, hold up, wait a minute? Was it examining of the programs, or was when your brother or somebody got some type of conflict with the law? What was the first thing that happened?
Well, no, honestly, immediately. We kind of just stayed in, but the first three
I feel you, sis.
Immediately, I was brought in as the minister of community programs, which means I, you know, get out here and put all of the programs together. I, you know, dealt with the financing part of like when we sell newspapers and waters and stuff like that. So when I came in and I got transferred the books from the last minister of community programs, there were thousands of dollars missing. People were paying thousands of dollars in dues. We had one brother, John, that was paying $100 a week, even though the dues were only $25 just because he loved the party so much. And some kind of way, when it was time to do something, we had to bring the chicken. We had to bring the water.
And let me underscore that too, sis. Hold that thought. This is what I want people to know. We got over 445 people in here, and I know y'all are revolutionaries. And you know that you have been given your money. But you know when it's time to get suited and booted and go on a mission, you paying for the gas out of your pocket. You paying for the meals out of your pocket. And if you have to stay somewhere or pay for the hotel, you know that you paying for it out of your pocket. You can't get mad at Brother Taharka Bey to remind you, to bring into remembrance that you are paying dues and you paying out of your pocket, which is supposed to go towards the revolution. And so I wanted to say that because I know they watching. I know you mad at me. But listen, I just want you to wake up and I want you to get with some people who are real revolutionaries where I can call on when I'm out there running my mouth, speaking truth to power, and you will defend me. And I don't have to worry about wondering if you with them. On you, sis.
Hold up, Taharka, we was paying for them too. When Malik and all of them travel, we have to pay for the hotel. We have to make sure that they got transportation. We got to make sure they got water. Then they don't come in and give nothing. We collect money in our communities. When we collect money, he runs this scheme. I got $500. I'm going to put in the basket. We're going to take this money up for college family. He put a blank piece of paper in the box. It took my chairman work to bring it to my attention. He said, hey, that was a blank piece of paper. There wasn't no check for $500. Now you got the crowd donate all this money. And then when the money's in the basket and it's time to divvy up the money for the chapters, you know, you're supposed to give a certain amount to the chapters and you're supposed to pay off the debt of the the venues that you use. No, these people got thousands of dollars of debt for people down here allowing them to use their venues. Venues have been destroyed, and we had to be responsible for their plane tickets, their meals. I'm breaking it all down. They don't pay for anything when they travel. None of them. Malik, Krystal, none of them. They might buy some gas to get them to the airport, but I doubt that, because before they even go to moving around, they already asking for donations. Everything is a damn donation. Cash out. Put it in the box. They already they done called 5 or 6 of us already. Well, Brother Akbar, he needs a plane ticket. People who really dedicated, we're going to get him a plane ticket. Brother Najee, he needs to fly here. So we have participated in those things, and the only thing we got was zero. Nothing. So it's not just paying for, certain things. We're paying for them fully. Everything is 100% cost to whatever city or chapter that is that's affiliated with them, and whatever program or summit that they're having in the area. I've never seen them pay for anything.
Let me ask you, what I've never seen Malik actually adjudicate a case. How do he actually make his money? I hear he got some properties and stuff like that. How does he? I mean, I don't know if you know. I told you this is going to be tea, commentary, and critical conversation. So you can take it how you want it. I mean, you can take it how you want it. If you don't like it, you can just go watch another show. I'm curious because I have never seen him in a courtroom. Not saying he haven't been in one. I have never witnessed him speaking across to the judge as an attorney. Never. I don't know about nobody else. However,
when you're traveling across the globe, like let's lose the Nuwabians for an example. When Malachi York got arrested, those people gave Malik over $1 million to represent Malachi York. Why is he still in jail? Where's the money? Malachi York, I sent so many documents in. I shredded that case. I gave them all the information on Putnam County. I told them about the KKK owning majority of that land, and I brought up certain things, like even in the state court case. How is it that someone's pleading guilty and a part of the agreement is for you to take his land? Malik wasn't involved in any of that. You had Brother Adrian Patrick was a superb, attorney, since you want to talk about an attorney, that actually dug up so much information that was able to help Brother Malachi York. A lot of people not going to like what I say, but that brother's not guilty. And it is what it is. There's documented evidence that the government conspired with a lot of different individuals, including the sheriff of Putnam County, in order to destroy what Malachi York was trying to build. Now, what went on in their cult, nobody has the right to even judge that, because if you are a Muslim or Hebrew or affiliated with any of those organizations, culturally, all of y'all are doing something that that people don't agree with, whether it's sleeping with babies, whether it's, because a lot of them was sleeping with children. And it makes me mad because most of these brothers like Saneter and all these different people who are Garfield and all of them, they always going in on Malachi York, but their own leader, Elijah Muhammad, was doing the same thing. They come out of the Nation of Islam. So you can't pick one of the two devils. You got to be able to say, everybody's doing it. So that's another problem that I have with them. Culturally, that's what a cult is. They got certain things that they follow, only them, polygyny and all of that stuff. That's their business. If they got people that agree to that and they're following those guidelines, that's them. So
I think when it draws the line is when the people come in and say, hold up, no, not a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are in a society. Even if you are a society within a society, the society have the ability to say, hold up, not the baby. You can't sleep with the baby. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where you have to draw the line as a society, even if you focus on a society within a society. Because at the end of the day, we are in this. One of the things that about us all, Sister Nandi, I believe and have confidence and faith in, that we all in this struggle together. You know what I'm saying? And at some point, the men, as well as the women, but most importantly, the men, is going to have to stand up and get some backbone and say, not the babies. You know what I'm saying?
I understand that. See, I'm not saying that I agree with that. No, I don't agree with that at all. But
But I get your point too. They're gonna do some culture stuff that ain't nobody gonna agree with.
Right. And what I'm saying is this though, when you got people that are discriminative towards one organization, like I hear people going in on the Hebrews and all these different people all the time. Go in on your own leader, clean up your own backyard.
Yeah. Well,
until, you know, for Rob Muhammad and all of this stuff, and I have to be real tonight, you know what I'm saying? But these are Arabs, Jews, or white men, whatever you want to call them, and they have done some of the same sadistic stuff that they're trying to place on other people. So if we're going to talk about everybody, we got to get all of that stuff out of the way.
Absolutely. And somebody said, don't, and I don't want you to respond to this yet, but somebody said, don't sneak this Elijah. It's not a sneak this, it's the truth. Elijah had relations with young girls. It's the truth. You have to accept it. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you are a leader of an organization, you just make sure you don't have relations with young girls. You just make sure that you don't allow your membership or your leadership to have relations with young girls. But Elijah had relations with young girls, and it's a fact. We can't be bothered by the fact. Let's move on from it.
And let me make this clear for the people in the chat. Nandi don't sneak.
But Sean said it wasn't babies, not the babies.
Let me say this:
babies, the beautiful babies.
Nandi don't sneak this nobody. Nandi speak truth. And if I'm a suicidal revolutionary, I'm gonna tell the truth. I don't care who don't like it. I do this all the time. You can go back and look at any of my shows because I'm not biased. I'm for my people. And my people have the right to know that some of these people that they're following and getting entangled with is a bunch of bull crap. They have to know that. The first thing, free the dumb. Free the people that don't understand that the black Muslims, take your ass to Israel, whoever actually saying this, and tell me if you're a Muslim. You will have to denounce Elijah Muhammad before you can even step foot in Israel, let alone taking your ass to Mecca. Excuse my language, but I'm sick of these religious nuts that are such idol worshipers, and they done fell in love. They act like they some kind of way down low homosexuals. It's always the men that are backing these brothers that are doing wrong in our community, and this is why we have no standards and we have no structure. So take your pink thongs off and deal with the truth. This is what I mean by the pink thong committee. We got a lot of them out here, down low, up under the pants, in love with Elijah, that Elijah underwear could have never been dirty. Elijah didn't make no mistakes. But then if you look at this situation, Elijah went totally against the Quran when he was jealous of his own brother, which was Malcolm X. Because he definitely was jealous of the fire and the truth that Malcolm X is bringing. And I don't understand that if you have people like Malcolm and Khaled and all of these individuals that came out of that organization, die hard for that organization, that spoke out and spoke against the organization, why are you sitting up here saying Nandi sneak dissing?
Yeah, my thing is this, you know, and Nandi, I want to get back on track again, but I will say this. There was sayings that Prophet Noble Drew Ali, they accused Prophet Noble Drew Ali of what they would call it, child molestation or something like that. But I went digging and went deep, and I've uncovered so much that I can prove that it was a false claim, it was a false setup, it was everything. And so I say the same thing to those in NOI. You know, get your proof together, bring it up, and support and show that that did not happen. I went above and beyond to do research to find out, because I wasn't going to follow no man or support no man, no brother, no sister for that matter, that who would commit these type of acts. I couldn't do it, and I'm not going to cover for you. You know what I'm saying? So I had to research to find out for myself. And when I found out for myself, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh man, I'm going to present this to the people. And so I did a bunch of lectures, at least 3 lectures, to clear the air with that. To clear the air. And so I would encourage everybody, if you mad because Sister Nandi said that the brother had relations with babies or girls or whatever the case may be, the thing is that I say you bring your evidence. I will allow you on the platform and we can go toe to toe. You know what I'm saying? With that. You
I just want to say one thing and we can move on from this. If they want to get their evidence, all they got to do is look at the ages of the mothers and look at the ages of the children. You can go back You can go back and separate those ages and see who was 9 and 15 and 16 and 12. It's very easy if you look at the ages. They got all his wives and the women who actually Malcolm interviewed about these children that he had with the young women. All they have to do is go and look at the ages of the young women then to the ages now and the children that they have born. They shouldn't be too far apart if he was messing with children. They grew up with their children. So it's simple mathematics if you pay attention. That's one simple thing.
Let's get back to Chuck real quick. I want to tell my brother Mahasan, I think I'm saying it right, brother. If you would like to defend the minister, I would love to go toe to toe with you respectfully. It got to be respectful though. I would love to go toe to toe with you.
So give me half a second. I'm just gonna run to the restroom.
Brother, seriously, I would love to go toe to toe with you. I would love to go toe to toe with you. All you got to do is send me an email. We can do it tomorrow. I would love to go toe to toe with you, and I'm just saying, bring all facts. I mean, I ain't gonna have commentary. I'm gonna all facts. And we can get into oh man, that's this. Okay. All right, but you got to bring facts. You got to bring facts. If you bring talking, I'm telling you, it's going to look really bad. And I would advise you to go look at my video with what's the brother that I debated? Anybody ever see my video? I debated what's the name? Muhammad. What's his name? Eric Muhammad. I would advise you to go look at my video with Eric Muhammad, and it will give you a little bit insight on what I'm going to do. Just go look at my video. All you gotta do is Tahaka Bey debates or Eric Muhammad debates Tahaka Bey. Just go look at that video before you make a decision. Because I'm gonna tell you, I love my brothers in the nation, but I love truth a little bit more. I mean, I love my brothers in the NOI. I love my Moorish brothers, but I love the truth just a little bit more. And to me, it's nothing but history. And we can't change history. You know what I'm saying? But we can learn from history. We can learn from history. And my life has been dedicated to, in the last over 10 years now, but I remember when I made the decision. And this is why I stand out from different Moorish Americans, because I don't accept lies from even people who wear fezzes. They go under the bus into the muffler too. I don't accept lies from nobody. You know what I mean? I don't accept lies from nobody. I'm talking about, I was close friends, man. I admired, let me say this before I let this. I admired brother Sharif Amil Bey. Amil Bey. You know what I'm saying? I admired him. He was the most charismatic, strong brother that I ever seen demonstrate Moorish science. He knew everything but the UCCs. He knew everything about the prophet and able to quote and everything. But the moment that he showed me that he was going left with the prophet's teachings to join a fraud group of Moorish Americans, that's when I drew the line. That brother that met my mother, that brother that met family of mine, he drove in my car. I love that brother. But the moment that I seen he was convoluting the teachings, I drew the line. I love truth a little bit more. But with that being said, Sister Dandy, let's go back to, when did you meet Sister Krystal Muhammad? Was you ever with her outfit, or was y'all in the same nation together?
Yeah, 2013. This is when Malik abandoned his post, like he tried to say about everybody else, because his organization, was failing, as well as the feds was in their ear. You can either leave the NBPP or leave being an attorney, but you can't be both. So he decided to abandon his post, and in his position, he thought he was going to martial law the situation and put Hashim in. Well, this is when Sister Krystal Muhammad, popped up out of the scenes.
Before you go there, sis, I don't mean to cut. I'm gonna let you flow. But before you go there, is martial law is a part of the structure of New Black Panther Party? Is that in the handbook or something like that? How did that work?
No, it's not in the handbook. It's definitely a part of the organization because they brought it in. But that's not how it goes. Any offices or positions that are not filled, then the next superior or someone is to fill that position. And we have voting structures that are in place. You have a central committee, and you have members that will vote at the end of whatever term that they say, because some of them had 2 years, 5 years. I don't even know how Malik stayed as long as he did. But when the term ends, then you come to a vote, and we decide who we want to follow.
Oh,
I haven't seen anybody voting for anybody.
I did not. I'm so glad you said that, sis, because I had the brother, what's his name? Bobby. And you seen the show. I said, Bobby, then what's the process? How does this work? Well, if someone gets delegated, it's a delegation of authority. He was all over the place. But he means just delegation. Somebody delegates you a job, but he used the term delegation of authority, which is a legal term for something else that has nothing to do with delegating somebody some position. But he used the term. But he says that the leader had the power he has a delegation of authority to appoint who he wants to appoint. And I say, well, that's the problem then. That's like one person. Like, what's the board for? I thought it was a board or something, a committee or something. He said, well. So I'm glad. Can you please break that down? So after a certain term, the committee jumps in or something. What happens?
We're supposed to vote, all of the members and everybody. If your term is up, this just like the president. If the president did his 4 years, now we got to go, vote for Biden or Trump, and the votes go in. And then they tally up the votes and they decide who's the actual chairman or the person that's over the organization. Now, the local chapters and stuff, a lot of them followed that protocol. We weren't just placed in positions. I came in all the way down from minister of community programs and moved up to chief of staff. And it had to go through, my local central committee, which was Brother Will, Brother Lenny at the time, who was my chairman, and certain individuals. You couldn't just come in there and think you was just going to stand up and be right beside the chairman. That's not how it works. That wasn't how it worked when Colin was in. And I don't even think that was how it was working when Aaron Michaels was in. I wasn't there, but I look at history. That's not how it operates. So, no, that's not true, sir. But what happened, Malik knows. I'm sorry.
No. You could. Don't lose that thought, because somebody wants to say, and I heard this before, that Krystal was voted in, but Malik didn't accept it.
No, that's not true.
But Malik had already called martial law before that happened, right?
Right. Now, see, this is the thing. Like I said, Krystal and Malik had some personal things going on. Everybody knows this.
Hold up. What's the personal things with Krystal and Malik?
They had a sexual relationship with each other. And when that fell out with each other, they fell out with each other. So this was her way of trying to come in and actually, think she's going to go against Malik. This is what happened. That's not true. And I'm going to call the names.
No, for real. What is the indication that they had a relationship? Was that just
a relationship? Was majority of the people that came up under Malik, he not slept with most of them. This is a big orgy that was going on in NBPP. This wasn't no movement. It was boyfriend, girlfriend, or threesomes. I done seen a lot of stuff that goes on. That's why I never went to any of their, after parties. A lot of times they was coming in the city just to meet certain individuals and lay up with these individuals and do certain things. It was a lot of married men and women cheating in their relationships. I even went through an issue. I dated one brother in this organization, and it was hell. And I've never dated anybody else since. That just goes to show you what happens when you're dealing with these people. They had a personal relationship. That ended up failing. So when the situation came where Malik was going to step down, it was a number of other people that actually came up and wanted to take the position. But he martial lawed it with Brother Hashim. So what Krystal did was got her little entourage of the brothers she done laid up with, because it wasn't but about 6 or 7 of them. And they split and went under the leadership of Krystal. Ain't nobody voted Krystal nowhere. There was no vote. They might have voted amongst themselves, her and her little boyfriends, but there was no full vote for everybody that was in the organization. That's why you see no one elected, but a total split where some people went with Hashim, some people went with Krystal. The only reason I even ended up working with Krystal is because at the time we followed orders. My chairman was Chairman Yanga Nkrumah. He's a big diehard fan of Krystal Muhammad. He big up Krystal Muhammad. He went and joined Krystal Muhammad. So under his leadership and him being our chairman, we followed to work with Krystal. But no, none of us voted for Krystal. That's a lie. Krystal got a group of people that she was cool with in the organization, and they all separated and they split. If someone voted for her, both of them, how'd you gonna have 2 chairmen in the same party? Malik them never changed their name, and neither did Krystal them for about a year. Then she had to change her organization's name. She wasn't just NBPP. I can't quite remember what she changed it to.
It was black. Oh my goodness. I gotta pull the file. I remember. Let me see if I can find it. But go ahead, sis. You good. Keep talking.
So her and Malik, behind the scenes had a little conversation. They panned it all out because they didn't want the publicity. They can't get no money like that. So she decided to change the name of the organization. But I had so many bad experiences.
You're making so much sense right now because, sis, I pulled all this stuff up on a presentation that I've done in the past, and I see, and I'm going to tell you the name in a minute, but carry on, sis.
Yeah, so when we started working with Krystal, she was just as bad as Malik. You can't have a chairman who sleeping with everybody, keeping up nonsense. Her structure was terrible. She talk a good game. They all do. They've been trained to talk. They come from organizations that puts them in position to talk. But Krystal, I'm sorry. Malik might be running around talking, but she ain't done shit. And I'm just going to say that. Krystal have not done anything. She came to our community in 2013. She raped the community. She's caused problems in families by sleeping with married men. And I'm not going to put those brothers under the table because I'm not a dry snitch. But I'm going to say this. I'm telling you that Krystal is not what everybody thinks she is. When we came in contact with her in 2013, it was strictly under the orders of Brother Yanga Nkrumah that we had to join her. And at the time, that was my local chair. So if my chairman is splitting and we're dedicated to the organization, we went with our chairman. But
that's what it was.
Yes, sir.
The Black Cross.
Yes.
But Black Cross. That's what it was. My chapter, we stayed with Krystal less than 3 months. She just came down here. We had a sister named Sister Nisa Shabazz. Were you at that summit? Was you at that summit that they claimed that happened in the ATL?
Yeah, I was at all of them. I've been at all of the events.
Because it's a brother there, David Foreman, says, sister, you are wrong. We held a summit in the ATL. Everyone invited to the summit. And so could you tell us a little bit about that summit? Was you there?
I'm not going to get into David Foreman. He better back off. I'm going to leave him alone.
Don't worry about that. But I just want to hear about this summit.
This is what I'm saying. When you got a bunch of groupies, he's one of her groupies.
Right,
if he's standing up there and he's so calm, he left the organization with Krystal. There was a split, sir. There was a split.
I think it's so clear as day that they left.
There was no voting at all. There was a split. I don't care what summit she had. They always having summits to try to cover up what they're doing. That's what they do. They get together. The summits is for them to get together and talk and manipulate the situation.
Hey, sis, let me tell you, sis. This is one of the same things, and if I may, real quick, this is one of the same things that happened in the Moorish Science Temple of America. What happened was it's a lot of different factions of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And what they did was a temple on the west side of Chicago, 7 people said we splitting from the original temple and we're going to put you in office. But that is not the process of how you get put into office. The process is that the one that's in charge call a convention or a special session, and one is appointed and then confirmed. You know what I'm saying? But that's the process. But even till this day, that group is still running around masquerading as if they are the real Moorish Science Temple of America. So I get what you're saying. They didn't go through the process. So whoever's saying that something took place, you got to understand that you can't just split off 10 people and then say, okay, we're having a vote. No, everybody who wears that patch are responsible for the leadership, not 20 or 30 people breaking off. It don't work like that in no organization, not that I know of.
Right.
But,
okay, and see, that's one thing I wanted to bring up. If there was a vote, and I'm asked that for day performance since I'm wrong, why none of the other members were there? King Samir wasn't. I'm just saying the national central committee that everybody knows that was under Malik, Zulu, Shabazz. Forget us. Let's forget all of the people that are in the chapters. The national central committee, they weren't there to vote. A lot of people wasn't there. Akbar wasn't there. Hashim wasn't there. If this was what they consider to be a vote for everybody, for Krystal or Malik, I'm trying to figure out, where did it take place? Where did the election take place? Where were they doing their campaigning? Because none of the people names that I'm calling out, and they can vouch for this, that actually would have had a hand in the decision making of who the chairman would have been, was not there. They selected certain people that she's affiliated with to bring into her little side of the organization to say that she was voted in. But if you look at the structure, majority of the people stayed over there with Hashim. A lot of people did not leave with Krystal. It was only those that was fascinated with Krystal, because that's what she do. She used them big boobs and the wishbones to move around and manipulate.
Hold up. Bring it back. Come rewind. Give me the tea. I ran out kombucha. We need some tea. I need to stop this mess. When you said she wish, now
she ain't bow-legged. That's wishbone. That's from keeping them legs open so much. That's why all the men. If you notice, how many sisters Krystal got in her organization?
No, that's why. And you know what? That's why that young brother, man, he be trying to sound like Dr. Khaled, the Dark Island brother. I said, man, Krystal didn't turn that young fella out. He said up there like, yeah, and to Huckabee, let me tell you, I will tear him up when I see him. You hear what I say, black man? When I see him, like, brother, you on YouTube. But you know what I mean? He try to harm our chairwoman, and I tell you, God damn it, I will tear. I said, goodness gracious, on the YouTube, you gonna do all this? And I said, man, Krystal Muhammad and kissed that man in the mouth. I know it. I know it without a doubt. And I know you watching. His name, I forget his name, but you know what I'm talking about. Young fella. Mm-hmm.
If you look, I don't even have to see how many women are in Krystal Muhammad's entourage. How many women is on there?
Man, I see one or two every now and then
that has came in with they men. Them one or two sisters, they men joined.
Let me respond to this. Anubis TV. He said this is some WWE-ish. Okay, brother. I will invite you on to prove me the legitimacy or the illegitimacy of what we're talking about. And I bet you will say that I'm not getting involved with this. What we're trying to do is get to the bottom and get to the true revolutionary. We want to find out who is the Matula Shakur. We want to find out who is the Huey P. Newtons among us. We want to find out who is the William O'Neills among us also.
And the Elaine Browns.
That's right. And we are in the social media age. And so in this social media age, we are having dialogue, but this dialogue will possibly help brothers and sisters. And if Anubis, if you are legit, then you should thank this dialogue that legit people will come to you and not go to them and get played. But we always want to play along to get along. Krystal Muhammad is another Elaine Brown.
And if you all know the part that Elaine Brown played, Bobby Seale said it best. Running around here with her legs gapped open, all up in Huey's ear and all the male's ear telling lies just to try to pull them into what she had going on, to the point where she got Huggins and Carter killed. So no, we're not gonna do that.
And let me explain this to Brother Anubis, because I love Brother Anubis. I like what he do, because he don't be chasing no cameras. He don't be doing all of that. But the thing is Brother Anubis TV, this stuff has to be done, because on the other side, for the next 50 years, maybe we can build something sustainable that can help liberate us. Because same way I was talking about the attorney, we need people everywhere. We need all hands on deck. But we need real revolutionaries. We need real philosophers. We need real intellectuals. We need real engineers. We need real doctors, real scientists. We need real revolutionaries. So these people got to be removed and got to be exposed to the public by their record. I don't think the sister said anything that no one can vouch for, that no one can't vouch for. I don't think she said anything. Now, hold up. Do sister feel some type of way in the way that she expressed it, and you might sense that she feels some type of way? Well, if you dedicate your life, your resources, your limb, blood, and air in your lungs to fight for a cause, and you find out that you're being played, manipulated, and you didn't waste some time, or you just got some education what not to do, you'd be a little bit frustrated too. And if you're not frustrated, that means that you just want to fit in and just go with the flow. I will be frustrated too. That's right. But so this is the sad thing, and I'm gonna give it back to sister. I did a show about Ali Muhammad, how he just ran around with all these sisters. Whenever he could, he would. He would just get with any sister all the time. Lie to them. Some even say he was giving them herpes. All sorts of stuff. I mean, I just couldn't believe some of these stories. Those stories were so toxic. I would only go live maybe once a week sometimes, or twice a week, because it was draining for me. But now I hear this is the same pattern. Malik, and this ain't the first time I heard it, that now he done bumped and jumped around. And it's well known. Now I hear that now a leader that is a woman, she's also jumping and bumping around. This blows me away. You would think that the sister, I would think, I don't know, maybe I'm biased. I would think that the sister would, in that area about the freaky deaky stuff, would hold back. But you telling me that she done been with Malik and quite a few other people, and that's where the true beef started at.
And you've even had a brother to come on here and outright put on blast. Like
oh my goodness, Babu.
Come on. Babu, he kept it real too. See, the thing is that I have with these people, let me just use this as a quick example. This is why I have a problem with the Michael King situation. People allow Michael King to manipulate, play these games, let him live his Martin to the point where he now has a national holiday. And this is no, to downgrade the brother, but I just have to be real. And all of this time, you got people now that's finding out his name wasn't even Martin. The civil rights movement was phony. There was another sister before Rosa Parks, and we've had civil rights movements that's really civil rights movements long before Michael King. But when people want to sweep stuff under the rug just because it's somebody that they idol, that's the problem that I have. Now you got millions of people around the world celebrating a brother that died because he was dealing with the government and was being an informant and leading his people to slaughter. That came out of his own mouth. Because they didn't stop that situation when it was going on. There was a lot of people who knew his name was Michael. It was a lot of people who knew that he wasn't fighting for the people. There was a lot of people who knew he was with the government. But just like this brother is saying that, oh, that's wrong. Don't say that. Don't put that information.
Can I say this? I would challenge people. Say, I want to read this real quick. I think the goal of these shows are to destroy revolutionary movements of today. No, it's to destroy the falsehood, the lies, and those who have manipulated our people for over 20, 15, and even 10 years. Now, if you call this what I'm doing, COINTELPRO, I say you email me. We can go live before the public in Atlanta, New York, or any city of your choice, and we can present our cases before the public. You prove to me the legitimacy of Malik. You prove to me the legitimacy of Big Shirley. You prove to me the legitimacy of these leaders that have been patronizing our people for over 15 years and have not produced nothing. And I will prove to you that there's a track record. There's an extensive track record that has produced nothing. So I would invite you to present your track record that you legitimize as liberating or revolutionary. And I will present my track record, my personal track record, as well as the track record of these people that is nothing but counter-revolutionary. Anybody want to take it? And who want to take it? Who wants to take it? Email me at thehucklebear@yahoo.com and just say, I accept the challenge to present my facts that these leaders are revolutionary. And I will present my revolutionary work. And I also will present their track record that's counter-revolutionary. Anybody wants to take it, you are welcome to take it. See, this is the difference between me and everybody else that runs their mouth on YouTube. I am willing to face you face to face. If you say I'm an agent, if you say I'm COINTEL, I say let's meet in a room together. Let's invite the people. And let's produce the facts. And the same thing I say here, I'm going to say there. Oh, we can do it on YouTube. Whatever you feel free. I
want to add one more thing. I had my own personal experience with Krystal. We had a community barbecue down here in Atlanta. We ended up being surrounded by the police. We know the laws. We know how to handle certain things. So we fell into formation and we dealt with the police. Krystal was in the house. She went in my apartment. So I can give information. We surrounded by the police. And she's standing up there, Black Power, with the camera on, trying to get some footage of what we doing. And we got APD up in here, harassing us. We had 2 of our members, and I ain't going to call his name since he saw up Krystal's dress. I ain't going to give him no more credit. I'm going to leave it there. But we got a brother that was actually arrested. That was the chairman at the time who, went through some issues. And we got a brother named Shrub that got arrested when she was there. Krystal didn't do anything. What did Krystal do? All these manipulating tactics Krystal using. I want y'all to go back and look at that video that Krystal just put up, where she so-called was in DeKalb County. A lot of people know we're known in DeKalb County. We know all about those police. We have had standoffs and everything, my particular chapter, with these police officers. Krystal was there. The jails are closed on Saturday and Sunday, first of all, in Atlanta, Georgia. All of the jails are closed to the public. That's why she cut that camera off when that captain came out there and said something to her, because she wasn't even allowed to get up in the jail. Under siege by the police, I can put my videos up. We were definitely under siege. We got all kind of video footage where there was 3 counties, SWAT, and all kind of people surrounding us with helicopters. That's when Malik Zulu Shabazz stood down. Anytime we have had any issues with the police, they're doing the same thing to everybody now that they did to us. Hands up, don't shoot.
Oh my God. Oh.
So I'm just trying to figure out. You got comrades going through that type of stuff. Your chairman ain't fight with you. That couldn't have been Huey or Bobby.
No, she put her hands up. And then she laid on the ground.
Okay, but when we were in the standoff, when she was there, she went ahead of my apartment. And she seen me talking. I'm sure she in the cut somewhere.
Let me show you.
My apartment.
She put her hands up. This is what she did. Slow motion. She puts her hands up, but got a nerve to talk about the crack of this, the crack of that, the pig this, the pig this. But when they pulled out some tasers, not even burners, they pulled out tasers. And you see what she did. This is no leader. This is no leader. This is no revolutionary. This is no revolutionary right here. There's nothing revolutionary about this. What's revolutionary about this? But now watch what they do to her people. Look at her people on the ground. Look at that. Treating our people like dogs because she walked them into that. And guess what? Guess what? What y'all don't know is that she also brought a camera crew with her. And they was filming a documentary. Don't tell me about no revolutionary. They was filming a documentary. And after all of that, she sit down with the Europeans as one to give commentary on being a Black Panther. Come on, man. You can't play with this. This woman is playing. This woman is playing. And she's hoping that someone would do the bidding from her provocative statements. But she ain't doing nothing. She's going to go like this, and she's going to roll on over. So, I mean, these people need to stop trying to defend nonsense. You can't defend nonsense with the Hawker Bay. You can get mad at me all you want. Somebody said wasn't she arrested? What happened to the charges? Oh, we're going to talk about that too. All those charges was dropped. The same thing with Malik charges. Since with Malik, and do you remember the time Malik and what's his name, King Samir?
Yes.
They get locked up in Philadelphia. Were you a part of the formation then?
Yes, I was, sir. I wasn't in Philadelphia, but I was a part of the organization.
But I know if you was a part of the formation, then you would understand what happened. I never understood how they can charge somebody. Now, this crime here is a federal crime. They accuse Malik and King Samir for voter suppression, blocking people from getting in to vote or agitating and things of that nature. I forget the name of the charges, but that was the accusations, if you will. And man, shout out to King Samir. I know I hear he still rock with Big Shirley, but I don't care who he rock with. I think the brother is genuine. I think the brother is a real revolutionary, and I think the brother is an asset. I still think Big Shirley is a fraud. I mean, but with that being said, some kind of way, Samir ultimately went to jail. Malik didn't, and then the charges disappeared. How'd that work? I mean, they just disappeared. And guess how they was disappeared? Guess how they got disappeared? By the Obama administration. And it happened during the Bush administration. Are we going to cover all that when I do a recap of all these stories? We're going to do a recap because, man, let me tell you something. Go ahead, sis. What was the word going around during that time? And let me say, I like King Samir because he is true to himself. Maybe his perception of Big Shirley is something that I haven't seen. And being true to himself, You got to respect somebody who's true to themselves, because our ancestors taught us, to thyself be true. And when you see King Samir, you know that he's true to himself. You ain't got to like him, but he's true to himself. That's what I get from him. I don't know him personally, never met him. He probably hate my guts for these presentations that I do. But when I've seen him for the first time years ago, and anytime I look it up, he seemed to be true to himself. You know what I mean? That's what he say. They got a pardon from Obama. How in the world do Obama... They got a pardon before it even went to trial. When do they do that at? How do you get a pardon before something even goes to trial? But what was the word going around, sis?
Well, King Samir and other ones, I can't remember his name. They went out, they were actually just, standing in front of the voting area and stuff. Long story short, they got arrested. But what I do know is this: King Samir was left in jail. No black lawyers for justice. Nobody went and tried to get him out. He had some other things going on, but there was no support from the particular so-called attorney, Malik Zulu Shabazz. There was no one, as far as put money on his books or phone calls to any of those. So King Samir ended up just doing his time. He's a stand-up brother. I don't have any beef or anything negative to say about King Samir, because I have seen him do the work. I've seen him out here doing the work. And for them to have just left him in jail like that and didn't even address the issues, and he even, I think, if I'm not mistaken, ended up getting sentenced while everybody else got pardons. But why? If they're, I look at how they come after these organizations, that would have been one of the main things if they saw on the terrorist list and such a threat, for them to be able to go ahead and take Malik them right down and out of the game. How he skirted around that, I don't know. So, no, King Samir didn't get any support from them. He has even vouched for that himself. It's all over the media. He was left in jail, in his own words, to rot. And that's just the truth. So, no, it didn't go the way that people are thinking it went. Yeah, they showing all this stuff that Malik was charged and all of that, but Malik never even stepped foot in the courtroom or even dealt with those allegations, because they weren't charges if they are already thrown out. He didn't have any charge. He had some allegations on him, and all the charges went on King Samir. And a lot of people don't know that Malik has ran for city council in Washington twice, even though he failed. So that clearly shows you that he's affiliated with the governmental system. So that's how he ended up getting his charges, whitewashed, as we called it, because he's in bed with the white man already by representing, and what better place to represent than Washington, D.C.
I want to speak to Levi Jones. He said, no, there's no talk about servicing the people. We are servicing the people. We're giving the people the true concepts of what goes on, so the people won't be misled and try to join this madness and be going down the road that many people went down, like King Samir. This is a part of servicing the people. Where are you from? This is a part of servicing the people, to put people on point. I don't know where you from, Levi, but where I'm from, if my mans and them about to get caught up in something, I'm like, bro, nah, bro, If we in the streets in the 80s and we selling poison, one of the first things we say is, man, don't serve that one. Nah, that's them people. Don't hit that. Don't hit that. Nah, let them go. Let them go. Nah, we ain't got nothing. We put our people on point. I cannot believe that brothers and sisters become some sort of conscious and forget the rules of the engagement. The rules of engagement is that if one that comes amongst us is not us, it's up to us to inform us. It behooves me that no one gets it. Show me somewhere where the lie is. Notice no one talks about serving the people. That's not what this show is about. If we was talking about feeding 1,000 people, Levi, you wouldn't be watching, nor would you be commenting. If we was having a video in Atlanta to Baltimore, giving people some sandwiches today, and we be talking about how we feed people, I guarantee you we would never hear about a Levi Jonas. He wouldn't be commenting or nothing. In fact, this is the first time I seen you in here. So don't try to act like you've been here the whole time. You want to hear this too. You want to hear this too. Yet you want to play both sides and say, notice, no talk about serving the people. So why are you here? Why do you continue to listen? Why? You know why? You know why? Because it draws you in. And you're interested in it too. Because you're curious about who's the fraud too. Because maybe you've been frauded and don't know it. Or maybe you've been frauded and you're about to wake up. Brother, what is your question? I'm going to let you hit the link in a minute. But sis, I don't mean to cut you off, but sometimes I got to, it's the discrediting the work folks do because of what they do behind closed door. No, I'm telling you, it's not discrediting any work that people do. What I'm telling you is chasing an ambulance, chasing a police car, chasing a news camera with a bullhorn is not the work. Okay? That's not the work. If you do work, brother, then you come on here and tell us about your work. But Krystal Muhammad, the only thing that she has done is go to places where tragedy has happened and scream Black Power with 5 or 6 people. That's all she's done. That's it. She haven't even highlighted the situation of those who have felt the hand of the oppressor. Because every event that she goes to, there's already thousands of people there or hundreds of people there screaming Black Lives Matter. Of late, ever since Trayvon Martin, everywhere they show up, somebody has already highlighted the situation. So her little 5 or 6 people don't even underscore or highlight the situation. What are you talking about? But if you do some work, you're welcome to come on here. You're welcome to come on here. Show us your work. Malik Zulu Shabazz just went to St. Louis. What work was that? What work was that? He stood up with somebody who was felt by the hand of the on-hand oppression of this European. He had a test. He's so out of the loop. He's so out of the loop from where it was the gang summit or where it was St. Louis. He don't even know the gangs that's with him. He got a piece of paper reading y'all Triple C. Who are y'all? He's so out of the loop, he don't even know who's there. He's so out of touch. He's in St. Louis, reading from a piece of paper. And what we're gonna do is when we leave here, we want everybody to go into the courts. Make sure you stay in the courts. You stay on them because we need justice for what's his name? What? What? And we accept that? You mean tell me that this is accepting this type of behavior as liberation or revolutionary, this is the result of our best thinking as a people? This is what you're telling me, Levi, that this is the result of our best thinking to accept frauds like this. But I'm going to yield the floor. Go ahead, sis.
I want to say something to him. They stuck in the 60s. You know, in the 60s, people didn't have access to food and resources and the things that they needed like they do today. If you steal somebody, I'm not saying it's not people out here, but if you're still talking about servicing the people, let me ask you a question. What service have you seen Malik or Krystal do? How many people have you seen them feed? How many people have you seen them go to their houses when their children were murdered with some type of compensation? I'm not talking about to get in the camera for Trayvon Martin when they put a $10,000 bounty out and didn't have $1. So I'm just saying, What have you seen, Krystal Muhammad? I've been down there road of feeding the people. We used to get in big U-Hauls and take stuff all through the communities. I've serviced people. I've filed lawsuits and all type of cases for people for free. We service the people, but we don't have to exploit the people by putting all of that information out. There are people out there that service the people. But I just want to ask you, for those that are defending these two individuals, besides them taking up donations and causing a ruckus in everybody's city and state, what have they done to service the people?
And I like to add on to that. Where is Malik community that he's cleaning up? Let me tell y'all something about these provocateurs. I'm a proud resident of West Baltimore. The murder rate is crazy. Real talk. Ain't no joke. One morning I left out the house because I heard something go boom, and the brother tried to run his brother off the road and killed his dog first thing in the morning. It goes down. Domestic violence, all sorts of stuff. It's my community. I would ask you, where is Malik's community? For all you defenders, where is his community? He globetrots around the country to other communities, but where is his community? Where is his neighbors? Where is his friends? Where is his associates? Outside of the Black Power movement I'm speaking of, where is it? Do you know? Y'all been invited? Y'all been invited to the neighborhood cookout? Y'all met Auntie? Y'all ain't that good. It's a brotherhood, but y'all met Auntie? Y'all met Mama? Y'all met Grandma? Y'all met Cuzzo? Y'all picked up the little baby nieces and nephews? El Tariq, he don't live in Anacostia. He live in PG County. He don't live in no Anacostia. He used to say that. He don't live in no Anacostia. He live out in the county. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry, sir.
So the only point that I'm making is that when we get to start talking about the legitimacy of revolutionaries and all of those that have been compromised and those who have suffered from the hand of those who was compromised, whether it be Imam Jamil, whether it be Matula, I've been on Matula Shakur because I wanted to compare. I'm gonna do a comparison with Matula Shakur with these revolutionaries. Matula Shakur, who is my brother in Philadelphia, the movement.
Mamiya Abu Jamal.
Mamiya Abu Jamal. You know what I'm saying? When you compare, there is no comparison. We need to take the stakes off our eyes. There is no comparison. These people was in the community, of the community. They put programs in the community. They wasn't illiterate fools. And they didn't allow illiterate fools to be around them. If we had illiterate fools around us, I'm talking about us, our ancestors, our brothers that's still giving up the good fight behind the wall right now, then they would raise them up to be intelligent. I was looking at some stuff about some brothers in prison. They was like, man, they can say what they want about these brothers and what they may have did in the 70s. But I would be dumb if I wouldn't have been raised up in prison next to Matula or this person or that one or this one or that one. Because ignorance was not acceptable. That's all we talking here. We have been following ignorance, supporting ignorance. That's not acceptable. But go ahead, sis. I'll yield the floor.
It's okay. I got something I want to add. They said helping the communities. Like you said, where's Malik community? So I understand that he's from Los Angeles, California. He was a rolling 60 for 60 days. I don't see him going down there having no gang summit with no rolling 60s. You mean to tell me you can't go back to your own community and talk to the so-called gang that you were affiliated with?
Come on, sis.
Organize those and show us some type of, you see what I'm saying? Show us some type of
oh my goodness, sis.
Los Angeles. The Huey P. Newton them stayed out in Cali. That's where they were. That's where they organized. And it was so serious with them that you actually had to come down there in order to get training to be acknowledged as a chapter. Krystal Muhammad, New Orleans, Texas. You can't go there and do nothing. The last time she was in Texas, she was selling solar panels. When she was in New Orleans, she made such a ruckus and did so many crazy things to one of the comrades. They don't really deal with her down there. I've been in my community all my life. I ain't never left it there and never will. And I know a lot of people down here, and I've done a lot of work, and I've helped a lot of people, and I don't have to exploit those people because that's not what I did it for. So all I want to know is for all of these people who are backing these folks, where are their programs? I don't see any. Where have they serviced the people? And why can't they go back to where they're actually born and raised or come from or even lived at if they moved and organized there? They everywhere else in everybody's city and state, but you can't go to Texas and do nothing. You can't go to New Orleans to do nothing. Then you got videos of where Malik and all of them, they talk a good game, but the white man, the KKK and all of them ran them out of certain areas. They were surrounded by the white man. I didn't see no blows being thrown. I saw them running back to their cars. So ask yourself that. Go online. They got all kind of videos where they went in people's cities. Even when they were in Ferguson, those people didn't want them there. It's videos up of the people of the Ferguson community saying that all they did was come out there and talk a bunch of rhetoric, being a bunch of down low Al Sharptons, and they left their community in shambles and left them to deal with National Guard. Okay, so if you're not, I'm sorry, sir. I ain't gonna be long winded. I just wanted to ask.
No, you good. You good. This your show. This your show.
You know what is it that you've seen any of them do besides get on the camera and flex? Like even when she just said she was in the standoff with Fulton County. No, sir, she wasn't. I know Fulton County Police. I don't have to get into all of that. We've had standoffs with Fulton County Police. And one thing I know about Fulton and DeKalb, they bring in the bomb squad. They got SWAT. You ain't going to be able to sit up and have time to do no whole 3-hour video. And we hearing firecrackers in the background. And you talking about you on the siege. All of this is a game. If people didn't figure that out with this last video that she put up, saying that she was under siege in Atlanta, Georgia, first of all, they ain't got no safe houses down here. Where are the safe houses at? So I just have to ask those questions to these people that are in these chats. These got to be some of their little groupies or members that are in here trying to make the information look bad, but we ain't going to drop it. True facts, because all of this stuff is documented in black and white through court systems, videos, and even the communities that in my community when I first joined, I had a lot of people to come to me and say, is you them NBPP people? Because that high yellow nigga, excuse my language, but that's what they said about Hashim. He was up here the other day, sister, wouldn't even buy me a piece of chicken. Me and my comrades stood out there and spent bands feeding the people. We bought the chicken. We got videos all over. We took a U-Haul and we spent thousands of dollars about food and clothing. We found a woman on the streets with her children. They were 5 and 6 years old eating out of the trash can. We went and got this lady a room. We provided everything that we needed for her. But see, when you're affiliated with certain organizations, what you're affiliated with is what you are. So a lot of us got labeled as not doing the work until we separated from people like Krystal Muhammad. Krystal Muhammad, we was in the Troy Davis marches, since he wanted to say about servicing. We were the ones who actually sparked that march down here. I interviewed on 89.3, and I remember the brother asked that question the other night. Your colleague that interviewed me on all of those hundreds of interviews was Angelique Allen. She knows me very well. All of these protests and stuff that was done down here, Trayvon Martin, Alfred Wright, I had all of their parents on a radio show with Krystal Muhammad on 89.3. And the only thing she could do is talk about herself. I've been on Alex Jones with these same parents, Alfred Wright, Trayvon Martin's parents, up under the work of Angelique Allen and 89.3. All Krystal did was sabotage that. So don't tell me about them service in the community when you had people like us out there doing the work and they wasn't doing nothing but raking all of the profit. We wasn't in it. We people over profit, not profit over people. So that's all I wanted to add to that. You look up people before you said, what are we doing to service the community? The community wouldn't know who we are if we wasn't doing one or two things, making a fool out of ourselves or doing the work.
And let me say this. Somebody said, it bothers me when folk still disrespect Hashim and Zinga. Is it disrespect or is it the truth, family? We dealing with truth here. Let's stop getting so emotional. If it's disrespect, we not having disrespect. But if it's truth, it's the truth. Prove the truth wrong. The truth hurts, but it shouldn't be confused with disrespect. Now let me go here. Shout out to all of those real gangsters or gang affiliated brothers who showed up, and sisters, whomever showed up to this gang summit that was put on by Malik, Zulu, Shabazz. But I think sis just hit a serious point. If he's from LA and outside of Chicago, LA got the biggest gang affiliation in the country. You mean tell me he ain't tapped in LA? New York, Baltimore, the East Coast is a Johnny come lately when it comes to gangs. And he's supposed to be from LA. The gangs went from Chicago to LA and you ain't tapped in? Come on now. Come on now. This it. What you see on the screen, and I'm not knocking it. I'm just telling you, family, that this is not a reasonable. Hear what I say. This is not a reasonable. This is not a reasonable path to liberation. Understand what I'm saying? So you know what that means? We should be developing a reasonable path towards liberation. Because this is not. That's all I'm saying. Who can disagree with me? Who can disagree with me? Come forth. If you believe that this is a reasonable path to liberation, I say come forth. You can come on the show tomorrow. This is not reasonable. It's illogical. That Malik is going to lead somebody, that Saneter is going to lead somebody, that Bobby Washington or Bobby something is going to lead somebody. This is just not reasonable. This is all we saying. What was your relationship with Saneter, sis?
Good. Wow, when I first came, you know what? I'm even pissed at myself, but I loved Saneter. I'm talking about, I got on his show. I've always respected him. You know, nobody could say anything about Saneter. If anybody's in this chat that knows Nandi from Saneter's show, I would be in there going ham. Don't say nothing. I'm blocking you. He changed. Again, I'm going to say this. He's thinking with his penis. He's allowing the devil to run his show. That's what he's doing. He's let this woman come over there. I don't know what type of cataclysmic spell she got on him. But she done did something to this man, or she done got him binded to some type of contract to the point where she ran all of the sisters away. It's not just me. And she, in other words, she talks this polygamy and this and that, but truth be told, she's a very jealous, self-centered individual. She's another one that don't like truths, and I think that Saneter at this point is showing his biasness when he does the things that he does. I used to have a great deal of respect for Saneter. This is probably the first time I've ever spoke out against Saneter, but I got to keep it real today. He goes after the Hebrews and stuff, but how when your so-called woman or your second wife is a Hebrew? How can you talk about the Hebrews? It's okay for her to be a Hebrew, but it's wrong for you to go after everybody else. He talks about the Moors. He talks about all these different organizations, but truth be told, they're only one train minded. He can never run the M train because every show he does, he's always talking about Hebrews. We don't care nothing about any of that. That's some people culture and that's what they do. But it's all for money. And what's sad is me is that he got all these thousands of people that comes into this chat and big up all these different people with his whole platform. And I have to admit to this, they're all a bunch of phonies. Garfield over here ain't clearing nobody credit. He ain't doing none of that. He done wrote this old crazy book. You got Jabari over here talking about the Pan-African shit. He don't know if he Egyptian or Kemet because those are two different denominations. So which one are you? Are you from Kemet or are you Egyptian? Because the Egyptians was when the Romans invaded Kemet. So I'm going to leave it there for them to be so educated. So everything that he has on his platform is foul. Now, the disappointment to me is just how he treated me. You just let this lady block me off the show. You listen to the lies that she manipulated like she did with other people that was on the show. And then he eventually starts, on everybody. I am very disappointed in Saneter. Saneter used to be somebody who would at least allow people to come on there and speak their truths. And he would give you opportunity to, give your information. But now he's turning completely a donation Negro. And then hit the cash out. Just hit the cash out. Hit the cash out. I don't get that. Information is free.
Since you ever see him do the one, he said, okay, if y'all want me to play this video, I need y'all to hit the cash app. And then he said, okay, when it get to 100, I'm going to play the video.
Because see, the thing is with them, it's all about the money. That's why they stay on one topic. Secondary, when you LLC, because Saneter Studios is LLC. When you have incorporated yourself with the government, you can't talk about the government. You can't say certain stuff. They'll take your funding. Look up Saneter Studios. It's registered as an LLC.
No, he's a 501c3.
And under the 501c3 terminology, one of the agreements you have to have is you can't be politically involved in anything. This is why he's showing from being political to nothing but you got to talk about religion or educational or some type of credit repair.
Since you've been doing your homework, I've been holding that one to slam dunk them.
Exactly. So he changed on us when he started getting this governmental money. See, I don't get that. How can you build yourself if you sitting there worried about what you getting from the government? So this is why his show has changed. That's why he can only talk about Hebrews all day. And another thing that I don't like about that, he's very biased. The only reason why Saneter respects Tazariak, because truth be told, Tazariak can punch him in his mouth. Just like he told Polite to cross the line, he'll tell Saneter to cross the line. And the whole ISUP gate, I give props. I don't listen to any of their ideology because I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. I don't discredit what they do because that's their cult and their following. But I do know this. Why is it okay for Tazariak to be a Hebrew, but all of the rest of the people that's on the show they can't be Hebrews? It doesn't make sense to me because those that he know will put them hands on him or deal with him or hold his most valuable secrets, those are the people that he allows on his platform. People like me, he's not going to want on his platform because the truth will be told about the Pan-Africanism crap that they teaching, about this Black Power stuff that they teaching. It would discredit everything that their platform is built on. So why would you allow people like us to come out and speak publicly? And I think that that's what the problem was with me and him. I'm not going to fall up under anybody's spell. Napashada is dumber than a box of rocks. I don't care how anybody sees it. I don't care anything about all of that other stuff. She's not really a polygamist. She's not into that because if she was, then other sisters on the platform wouldn't be a problem. Saneter is not really true to his people because if he was, his penis wouldn't allow him to shit on everybody and people like me who supported him from the very beginning. So I have a really big problem, with the way Saneter handles things. And Brother Reggie, shout out to Brother Reggie. Brother Reggie brings a lot of credible information. I don't care what any of them say. And it's other brothers, even it's brothers that has came on there and sisters to give correct information, even to discredit the information that Napashada said. But see, she's eye candy for everybody. As long as she got her boobs in the screen and she pulling in on people to view her, then he cool with that. He don't care about the true information. That's why Jabari and a lot of the other people that was on his platform that was die hard for Saneter is not on there anymore. So Saneter really needs to check himself. And he's not making no money at this point. That's why Cash App is so important. Nobody's supporting him like that anymore because we all see the biases. He
but look at this. even in this picture right here, he got on a Hebrew headband. He don't know what he want to do. He don't know what he want to do. That's one of the headbands that brothers like Tazoriak and brothers like that wear. They don't know what he want to do.
No, not at all. See, the thing is with Saneter and the Pa as well, it's crazy that they keep bringing up all this stuff about this so-called Bible and all of that. I never hear them talk about the Quran. I never hear them talk about the Jews, or I don't hear them talking about the Arabs. I don't hear them talking about any of the people that we should be addressing that has put us in impoverished conditions and placed us in slavery. They don't talk about that. Secondary, the Bible is a bunch of bullcrap anyway. None of the stuff in the Bible ever happened. Even the people who wrote the Bible, like she talked about the Blue Book Bible. Well, the founder and the co-founder of the Blue Book Bible clearly stated that these are their own opinions and assumptions of what they thought the Torah and certain things were about. So I don't get that. If you already know that the Bible is biased, it's been changed 100,000 times. No one has ever met God, or whatever they call it, in order to be able to say that these things were actually written into law. That's why I try to figure out what is law. Why are you still arguing a pointless argument?
I like the point that head honcho say he disrespect with the headband. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like some of these Hebrews, you know what I mean, that's close to him, I don't know. I think that's not cool too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't be playing with people demonstration. He did that with the feds at one time. You know what I'm saying? And it was a Moorish guy outside of the temple that allowed him. I wish I would take my fez off and let Saneter wear it.
And see, I look at this too, sir. He speaks a lot about Tazariak, but when the last time you say Tazariak on any of his shows?
Oh, Tazariak, man, he doing his thing. He doing big things, man.
Wow.
I actually like Tazariak because he created his own lane and he don't have to go there. He don't have to go there. And a lot of people, they go there because they feel they have to. You know what I'm saying? Because they have yet to create their own lane. But Tazariak, he doing really good. He created his own lane. And, and Saneter would benefit having Tazariak around more than Tazariak would have having Saneter around.
Right. But see, that's the thing that I look at. You talk about the Hebrews, but Tazariak, he don't affiliate himself with that. Tazariak, ISUPK, they feed their own people regardless. But see, how can you be on a Black Power, show, or you Black News 102, all of this stuff? You believe in separation and all of this from the cracker, right? But when Tazariak separates and only believes in feeding Hebrews, because that's what he feel his lineage is. So if that's what he wants to do, you got a problem with it. He don't feel like Africans are his people. We're not Africans. Everybody's not affiliated with that particular denomination of people. So I don't understand Saneter's method at all. And I don't see how a lot of these people don't pay attention to that. Being a moderator, I was a really good moderator. But Saneter wasn't dropping no money in my cash app. Saneter is worth almost $2 million himself. If you go and look at his net worth, and I'm just trying to figure out, I've never even seen him give out a spoon for a person to eat a can of soup.
And that was bothered me, sis. I've never seen him do a backpack drive. He might do one this year that I mentioned it because he's watching. I've never seen him do a backpack drive for back to school. I've never seen him sit up a table at 125th and hand out some soup in the winter, some sandwiches in the summer, some coats in the winter. Never ever. But he got that camera on everything else. Unbelievable. And now if he don't highlight it, okay. But every once in a while you should. Let the people know that you're doing something for the people. But that was one of the reasons why the original lineup from the House of Consciousness went their separate ways. Because they seen him, from my vantage point, they seen him as using them for content. And he was walking away with the bag, and they was going to punch in their clock or try to sell their book or their chains or their t-shirt on their own on 125th or wherever else they could sell it. And he was walking away with the bag while he was using their content. Sankofa, he used Sankofa's content for his purposes. You know what I'm saying? He used Shaka Atmos for his purposes. He's doing it right now with Jabari. Whether Jabari right, wrong, and difference, he's only using Jabari for content. He's using the sister. It is what it is. And until people figure it out and say, man, this is foolishness, and many people, even in this chat, start to create the channels that they want to see, then all of that phony stuff will be out the window. In other words, everybody in here is 527 people in here. You know that stuff is corny. Start a YouTube channel. Come on, brother Tahaka Bay Show, and say, I'm starting a YouTube channel. Everybody subscribe to it. That way we're a clean house, even on social media. All that fraud stuff be out the back door. The real need to step up. If Levi Jonas say he's real, create a YouTube channel. Create the content that can be real for the people and that the people can support so we can wipe out the nonsense. I mean, somebody said real quick, somebody said, Moorish World TV, why don't you interview scam victims? No community can function with funny money. Well, some of the scam victims, a few months ago, I interviewed a lot of sisters who were taken aback by Ali Muhammad. In fact, they were taken advantage of. It was many of them, I think over 20 some sisters, back to back to back to back. You know what I'm saying? At least 10 was telling that story, but when I'm talking about 20 they were here supporting that story, and we're going to revisit again. But a lot of people who are scam victims, a lot of them don't come forward. If you know one that wants to come forward, just email me at tahakabay@yahoo.com. Many of them won't come forward. Maybe they're embarrassed. Maybe they feel as though, well, that happened, then I'm moving on. I don't know. But if you know someone who has been scammed, who has been taken advantage of, I'm telling you, Moorish World TV is the voice for those who've been victimized, but we ain't no victims. Absolutely. So we're gonna go about 15 more minutes, sis, and we're gonna return. We're gonna look at the comments and we're gonna see what everybody say after this show, and we're gonna come back. Do y'all want to hear some more from Sister Nandi in a few days? What's going on, family? One, you want to hear some more because she got a lot more now. And she got the receipts. Do y'all want the receipt show? We can organize the receipt show. You know what I'm saying? So, one, if you want to see some more Sister Nandi. Two, is y'all, they're like, man, oh no, man. Everybody saying one. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody saying one. What up, Uncle G? So Levi Jones says something. It's time to do something on the ground. Everybody's saying one. Levi, it is time to do something on the ground. But social media is not going anywhere. And much of these scams and all of these frauds, they recruit from social media. To offset that, we must have a Moorish World TV. We must have a Moorish World TV. I was going to stop this a while ago. I'm going to give it to you $1. I was going to stop this a while ago. That means once I seen Grandmaster Jay was done, I was like, man, and then Sister Krystal Muhammad showed up. And I thought she was a true revolutionary. Then she brought the fraud on here, and that just opened up a whole nother chapter. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And now it's to the point like, nah. This is the will of the ancestors. Clean this mess up, put it out on Front Street, and rebuild from scratch. Rebuild from scratch. It is what it is. But Sister Nandi, did I miss anything so far? Now I got my list of what we're gonna go through on part 2. But anything that I missed so far that you would like to share?
No, sir. I just want to add one more thing. I was still on Saneter and this little situation to crush the Bible situation, this polygamy and all of this. There's over 100 Bible scriptures that are against polygamy, polygyny, whatever you want to call it. And even the definition of that during those times when it was used was a woman who couldn't find a husband, who just somebody who just didn't have no type of purpose. She was the last one, then at a certain age, certain time, you're supposed to be married or whatever. So if you the type of person that just couldn't find a husband, you couldn't get a man nowhere else, they added you on. But majority of the time that polygamy, polygyny, all of these things, whatever terms they want to use, was in existence, it was a lot of incest going on. If you look at this Torah that she goes by, just about everybody in the Torah was sleeping with their cousins or their uncle Pete them and all these different people. So a polygamist was a woman that wasn't wanted or didn't get a hand in marriage with anybody else, so somebody had to take her in. Okay, queen, that was a whore. The definition of queen. So all of this stuff that they use on that panel, I just really wish that people would do their own research. Do your own research. This is, Saneter, he can feel how he want to feel, because I tried to talk this out with him and I gave him opportunity to rectify his mistake. So since he didn't do that, then now it's time for us to destroy the structure that he has built on a bunch of fabricated lies and phony pretenses. He's not finding any Bible scriptures or anything. He's going on Googling, what is it? I found the video. I'm trying to remember what it is. Contradictions in the Bible. Yeah. He's got he goes and Google contradictions in the Bible, and he'll sit there and play this mind game with everybody. But the entire Bible is a bunch of bull crap, and it's a contradiction within itself, because none of the stuff in the Bible makes sense. So
let me say this, sis. You are absolutely right. He's doing it for show. And you're absolutely right. He will grab things that are highlighted by those who totally disagree with the Bible, who totally don't function under the Bible. And most of these references that he used are Europeans on the internet. Mm-hmm. I don't validate the Bible one way or another. You know what I'm saying? Neither here nor there. For me, I believe it's at one time our ancestors was the author of those stories of the Old Testament, whether they were real or whether they were because our history shows that we were storytellers. You know what I mean? We taught through stories. We taught through hieroglyphics, or what's the name? So we were storytellers. So I'm not trying to legitimize it, whether the people existed or whether they don't. But there, at one point in time, there was wisdom there that now have been tainted. It is what it is. But what Saneter would do is he would do exactly what you just said. All of his contradictions come from the internet that the Europeans have put out to cause the confusion in the first place. And so in order for him to perpetuate confusion, he goes to the original confusion maker, the one who confused the Bible from its original context, and then went back and said it's a contradiction. This is the European dude. That's what he do. That's what he do. He take the original context from a stone and remix it. He take the original context from a papyrus leaf. Then he remix it in the English language. You know what I'm saying? And then he comes back and say it's a contradiction. And then Saneter Google it, contradictions in the Bible. And I'm on them Hebrews ASS now. I'm on them Hebrews now. See, I study the Bible. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. So that's just what it is, sis. You spot on. But yeah, go ahead, sis. I just had to add that because I see exactly what you said. Absolutely.
No, you're right, sir. I really don't have to add anything else, because you just put the icing on the cake right there. But even if he was really reading the Bible, the first 3 chapters of Genesis would throw you off. Why did God, the sun and the stars? The sun is a star. Why do you have to create and separate it, or the different denominations of people and this serpent and all of this stuff that he's brought this person on because I'm not gonna keep giving her no
Yeah, my
error.
thing is this though, sis. For some people, right? I will let me be the angel's advocate. For some people, those allegories or those stories are mind challenging stories, and so some people will look at the serpent and say, you know, this means that. I think we need that too. You know what I'm saying? Now we don't need the manipulation for Pastor Chickenfoot to tell you what that means, though. You know what I'm saying? We don't need the manipulation for brother Rah who just did 10 years in prison and now he want to come out here and interpret the Bible for me. We don't need that. But I think stories like that, allegory stories, metaphorical stories, all of these type of similes in the Bible, I think they're important for mind challenging things. But now, if you can't pull no wisdom out of it, then you need to throw it away.
Correct.
But if you're able to extract wisdom out of it, then you keep that. You know what I'm saying? Because out of the worst, the wise will find means of good. You know what I'm saying? But a fool is obstinate. He know everything but his own ignorance. And so people will use these stories as if they can validate something, but they don't live by this stuff. They don't live half. I don't mean no harm to my brother Hebrew Israelites because I love y'all. But a lot of that stuff in the Bible you can't live by.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You just can't. Like, for instance, you know, I remember I was talking to a Hebrew Israelite brother, and much respect to my Hebrew Israelite because they frontline soldiers, and that's why I love them. You know what I'm saying? They frontline, and I love them. But if I wanted to marry a Hebrew Israelite daughter, and in the Bible, I got to give you some foreskins. That means some skin off some penises. Man, I ain't getting married, man. I'm good.
Right.
I gotta give you 100 foreskins so I can marry your daughter, man. I'm good, man. I'm good, man. I'm gonna go and be celibate, man. Or I'm gonna break the laws or something, because man, I ain't touching no foreskins, man. I got covered a bag of foreskins. Shalom. Here's 1,000 foreskins, and turn over to me. And give me what you got. You want some more? I just, man, my Hebrew Israelites, I love you, brother. Y'all frontline soldiers. That's why I respect and love you. But with that being said, sis, when we gonna do this again, sis?
Whenever you ready, sir.
Sis, I'm looking at like Thursday. I want to put the receipt show together. We're gonna put the receipts together, and I'll probably call you tomorrow. We're going to put it together. We're going to show side by side the receipt show. Now, listen, family. Tomorrow, I got to give you an update on Grandmaster Jay. I got to, family. He done lost his rabid mind, family. He done went to church. Look at my brother. My brother.
You talk about the drop the charges rally.
The drop the charges rally. He done went to Bishop from Kalamazoo and said, we got to put hands on him. We got to pray for him. Family, y'all got to come here tomorrow with the updates. Yeah, I got a show full of updates for you. Oh my God, family. Grandmaster Jacob. And then he went up in there with the what he thought was the Kemet collar. Did you peep it? Anybody see it? I'm gonna show it tomorrow. He had the Kemet collar. Oh my goodness. And then he throwing Masonic symbols. Man, I'm trying to tell you, you thought he was a jail Moorish American, all them symbols he was throwing. You thought he was Dolo, king of the Moors, man. I said, goodness gracious. Did y'all peep that? Y'all ain't see that? I'm gonna show it tomorrow. I'm telling you, you thought anybody know Dolo? You ever see Dolo? You thought he was Dolo, king of the Moors. That means hang him. But sis, so tomorrow I got to cover Grandmaster Jay because many people asked about it. Then I got to cover that tomorrow. But on Thursday, and I'm gonna also cover tomorrow. I'm gonna cover a sister. I'm gonna do one early, one late. You know what I mean? Go back and see who your big brother is. Dolo, my man, too, Go. I'm also going to cover tomorrow, family. It's a sensitive story. The sister, anybody remember we was covering the story, Sister Nandi, you know, we was covering the story about North Carolina, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the sister that was involved with the brother that got locked up, it's reported that they have taken her children. They have taken her children. So now this goes to a whole nother level. That people are being set up, allegedly, but now when the smoke clears, now they're taking people's children. The state is involved in taking people's children. We're going to cover that tomorrow. We're probably going to cover that tomorrow in the day. So I'm going to do a day show and I'm going to do a night show. And before I do a night show, I'm not sure how I'm going to do it because I got to do something. I got to do something in the throne tomorrow too. We got some stuff in the throne coming up tomorrow. Man. No, not Aaron and his wife. It's the sister that was, I think the brother Jamal sister woman. I think that's what it is. But this is what I'm telling you, fam. This is why this is so important. That people are following this madness. And now all of them snitching on each other. And at the end of the day, the babies is with the god doggone oppressor that you said that you joined up to fight against. Now the babies are with the oppressor. And so we need to get some help for this sister, family. We need to get some help for this sister. Sister Nandi, she says she's versed in law. Maybe she can look into it. We're going to tell that story tomorrow. I mean, we're going to tell that story tomorrow if the sister's available. You follow me? We're going to tell that story tomorrow if the sister's available. It's very important. So, Sister Nandi, before I close out and I'll let you close us out, have you had experience with the government coming in and taking people's children for activism?
Yeah, I went through it myself. That's why I'm sitting here shaking my head. But I also understand that it's a violation of the Fourth Amendment when they're taking people's children because that's their property. So it depends on how the children were seized or, you know, any investigations or defects coming into your home without, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to say documentation of abuse, you know, visible abuse or neglect or something like that. All of this stuff is totally illegal. A lot of stuff from the child advocacies to...
The whole thing is, though, sis, I understand that it's all illegal, but what is the remedy? How were you remedied? Were you remedied?
Yes, but what I understand that when you learn the law, right? We're not learning the laws to abide by them. We're learning the laws to see what they're using against us in order to...
Absolutely. That was my point earlier too.
And the Fourth Amendment, if there is no physical abuse or visible, you know what I'm saying, neglect or something that they can stand on to have a reason to take the children, that becomes a violation of the Fourth Amendment right. Children have rights too.
Absolutely.
So saying if this is just say some bias stuff, they just came in because she's affiliated with the brother, they took her children, it's very easy for her to get that flip back over. It's just that she would have to take it to federal court. State courts and magistrates and stuff like that, of course, they're incorporated with the state that you're in or the little city that you're in. But when you go into the district courts and filing federal, you know, violations of the constitutional rights, it's a whole big different ball game.
Absolutely. And sis, what you saying is what I was basically, I think we say the same thing about how they utilize these laws. But see, you just figured out, or you have figured out in the past that, hold up, man, I'm gonna go ahead and jump past this little nonsense, and I'm gonna go straight to the source and get this thing taken care of. And so, were you able to remedy your situation successfully?
I got all four of my children.
Right.
They here with me now, grown, you know. So, and I hate to say it, I can speak on it now. I don't care. Two of my children, they ended up running away from the group home that they were in, right? And let's just show you them, and I'm gonna be very short with this. And they manipulated some things by bringing me back to court, right, to tell me that my children were going to be back in my custody. They never told me my kids were missing for 3 weeks. Well, brother, so how come my children still missing according to the government? They never looked for them. They never tried to assist me with doing what I needed to do, even after they took them out of my possession. They just handed me back custody of 2 of them, but tried to manipulate me by keeping my 2 daughters. So I had to fight that, show the injustices in the judicial system, all of the violations of my civil rights, one them coming into my home and removing my children with no probable cause and no reason. And I was able to now I have my daughters back with me. So yes, sir, it's a different ball game when you're dealing with the juvenile court system, because they have 6 or 7 people. They got child advocates, and then they got these phony public pretenders, and they're all in this game together because Planned Parenthood and other things, you know, the judicial system with the juvenile, getting the children is their main priority in order to whitewash their brains and put them back into society.
Absolutely.
So yes, sir, I did.
So sis, I need you to be. I'm gonna try. I'll text you later, but I'm gonna try to make sure that I can have that happen tomorrow, and then my late show or be about GMJ, or I might just do that show depending on her schedule, because I think that's more important than GMJ. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try to schedule that tomorrow, and then I'll let you know. I need you around so we can get some advice on how to move forward. You follow me?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you, sis.
I'm very grateful that you have me here. I appreciate you, sir.
You gonna be a fixture on Moorish World TV.
Why, thank you. I just want to give a shout out to my chapter, my Chairman Work, my defense minister, Brother Bear, my field marshal, Brother Kurt, Sister Nisha Shabazz. I have to give a shout out to 3GP and all of the people, Bro Harold, different people that I've worked with. Those are names that actually came up out of the phony NBPP, and they actually do the work and are still affiliated with me today. So I just want to tell all of them, thank you so much for supporting me as well as Moorish World TV by watching tonight.
Oh, absolutely, sis. And I appreciate you. And as we close, thanks again, sis. I'm about to exit you out because I'm about to get out of here too.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. But I'll be calling you tomorrow.
You have a great night, sir.
Indeed, you too.
Peace and power to all the people.
Indeed. So family, peace and love. And family, if I get your email and you email me if you want to debate something, I don't mind. Let's keep it respectable. I think we can have a respectable debate. I think we can have a respectable disagreement. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, Moorish World TV is about getting to the truth. Moorish World TV is about getting to the truth. Listen, they're using social media as a soapbox to recruit people who are less informed, who are least informed. Nobody can tell me that Moorish World TV didn't have an impact on Grandmaster Jay moving as some head of some cult type militia. I guarantee you, so many people seen the videos that I had on Grandmaster Jay because there was so many of them that even if they considered it, they thought twice. And we're going to do the same thing with this fraudulent movement that people claim to be a movement, but they ain't moving nothing. See, Malik messed up when he called me an agent because I'm going to make you prove it. And in this day and time, you're going to have to show and prove. You ain't going to baby just say to I can be an agent. Because I'm going to invite you to sit down and prove it before the people as I prove that you are before the people. And if you ain't ready to sit down and prove it before the people, you can't say, I'm going to be the first one that when you call me an agent, I'm saying, let's get a venue, invite the people in, and let's do a PowerPoint and prove before the people. And whoever lose, get out of town before sundown. And me being an old Moorish American, I don't do no gambling. Me being a Moorish American Muslim, I don't do no gambling. So if I say I'm going to win, I've already won. Ain't no debate. So what you better do what you've been doing. And I'm going to continue to do what I've been doing. There's a new leader on YouTube. And his name's Tahaka Bay. Y'all be cool, you hear? Take care of yourself. Love each other. Love one another. And I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Peace and love.
I be that more you gon' remember, be more. I be that more you gon' remember, that town. I be that more you gon' remember, Tahaka Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember, LA. I be that more you gon' remember, New York. I be that more you gon' remember, Tahaka Bay front line till the law call my number.